3 years ago, Zhao Cheng could only watch, helpless, as his sister was dragged away by others. She sacrificed herself for an awakening stone for him, only for it to be targeted by a high-level manager named Zhao Jiji. For 3 long years, that man tormented Zhao Cheng, constantly tearing his room apart trying to find the stone, but he came up with nothing. Our sharp-witted hero had already swallowed the stone for safekeeping. Today, Zhao Cheng turns 16, and he can finally use its power, awakening the legendary Book of Eternal Evolution. Every time he levels up, he gets a new, insanely overpowered skill. So the next day, he grabbed his best friend, Liu Zia, to go hunt some monsters. Liu Zia had to lay down the hard truth about just how difficult it is to get into a beast dungeon. It's not just the hundreds of item vouchers for the entry fee. The guards outside take a whopping 70% cut of the loot. This was no place for powerless guys like them. And right on cue, Zhao Ziji and his cronies appeared. The guy was absolutely fuming when he found out Zhao Cheng had leveled up, realizing the awakening stone was gone for good. So Zhao Ziji made the two of them an offer they couldn't exactly refuse. Knowing Zhao Cheng was a newbie, he offered free entry into the dungeon. The catch? They had to hand over every single thing they found. Zhao Cheng knew this was a trap. They were being used as cannon fodder to scout ahead and gather resources. But where there's danger, there's opportunity. He decided to join, his friend right beside him. The second they left, Zhao Ziji's crew broke into cold, sinister smiles. Inside the dungeon, a dark and chilling void enveloped them. Stay here too long, and your life force gets drained to nothing. Zhao Cheng knew they were on the clock, saying, "We have to move. Now." Just then, a piercing, painful scream echoed from the distance. "Why is someone else here?" Liu Zia flinched. Zhao Cheng narrowed his eyes, quickly piecing it together. There had to be more than one entrance to this dungeon. This meant Zhao Ziji wasn't just using them as bait to scout, but also to fight for resources against other explorers. In their eyes, were nothing but tools for them to plunder, Liu Zia said, his voice laced with anxiety. "Cheng, do you really want to go on? We could actually die." Zhao Cheng clenched his fist, a fire of rage and determination igniting in his eyes. "If we don't risk our lives this time, we will never, ever be strong enough to fight back against them. You plan on facing the high-level management? I've never stopped hating them. Not for a single second," Zhao Cheng growled. "In a place like this, who at the bottom doesn't want to topple those tyrants sitting on top of us? Or have you not been exploited by them enough yet?" Hearing Zhao Cheng's raw words, Liu Zia cracked a small smirk, a flash of satisfaction in his eyes. He clapped Zhao Cheng's shoulder, his voice low. "Cheng, I knew I put my faith in the right person. Let me tell you a massive secret. My father and my second uncle are secretly plotting together, planning to overthrow the clan. You awakening your attribute couldn't have come at a better time. We'll raise an army together, and prepare to wipe out all those old foxes in one go." Zhao Cheng was stunned. "Uncle Liu, he's a part of this? Do you remember what happened all those years ago?" Liu Zia ground his teeth, pure fury blazing in his eyes. "My grandmother was whipped to death by them. She was old, her body was frail. Those wounds tortured her for half a month in agony before she passed. The entire clan watched it happen, but not a single soul dared to speak out. From that moment on, his father and uncles began to secretly plot their rebellion." He took a deep breath, his gaze becoming incredibly resolute. "I, Liu Zia, declare from this moment on, Zhao Cheng, you are no longer just my trusted subordinate. You are my brother, my sworn comrade in life and death." He let out a dry laugh, a bit self-mocking. "Of course, I have my own selfish motives. Sooner or later, I'm getting out of this damned place to find my sister. Everyone's got to have their own angle to survive. Even a young master like me." He paused, his eyes looking far away. "And on the day we finally overthrow them, I'll be free to be with Xiao Yu." Zhao Cheng nodded silently. "First, let's just see if we can make it back alive." The two pushed forward with caution, every one of their senses on high alert. Suddenly, a savage, agonizing scream cut through the air before going silent. They exchanged a glance, instantly diving for cover to see what was happening. A grotesque creature emerged from the shadows. It resembled a wolf, but its body was bigger than even the most ferocious mutants outside. Its entire form was a slimy mass of rotting flesh, giving off a thick, nauseating stench of death. It looked like it could fall apart in a strong breeze, but it moved with an unmistakable, terrifying threat. In the center of its putrid chest, a bright red orb pulsed faintly like a blood clot. That had to be its fatal weak point. Zhao Cheng squinted. The familiar energy radiating from the orb immediately made him think of the awakening stone. Could this monster actually possess an attribute power? He muttered to himself. Beside him, Liu Zia couldn't help but shudder at the horrifying scene. But what shocked him more was Zhao Cheng's terrifying calm. This guy was an absolute monster. He thought to himself that facing something this grotesque without even flinching, this was definitely the man he'd chosen to follow. After the rotting wolf finally dragged the corpse away, the two of them cautiously crept closer. All that remained was a mangled mess of bone and gore. Damn, that's rough, Luzia mumbled, fighting back the urge to gag. The beast hadn't left anything human-shaped, yet Zhao Cheng showed zero disgust. He just calmly knelt, reaching his bare hand right into that shredded mess of remains to search for something. "Oh my god, Cheng Zi, what are you doing?" Lu Zie shouted, his face pale. "You're using your bare hands. It's fine." Zhao Cheng's reply was short, his voice completely level. To hide awakening stones from Zhao Jiji, he once had to use a mutant dog's stomach, a septic tank, and even a rotting morgue. Compared to that, this is nothing. With those words, he pulled a sharp, blood-caked object from the pile. It was a knife, expertly sharpened from the bone of a mutated cow. He wiped it on his shirt, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction. A good weapon. "Cheng Zi, watch out, it's back!" Lu Zie suddenly screamed. The rotten wolf was stalking towards them, its cloudy eyes locked on the two intruders. "Wolves are known for being cunning," Zhao Cheng explained calmly, tightening his grip on the bone knife. "It pretended to leave to lure us out, and I intentionally walked right into its trap. First, this weapon boosts my chances of taking it down. Second, this provokes it into a direct fight." "Can you pin it down?" Lu Zie asked, his slingshot already aimed. "Don't worry, leave it to me. Just focus on whatever plan you have." Zhao Cheng made a quick calculation. Lu Zie had awakened his attribute 6 months earlier, so his experience fighting monsters was definitely greater. He recalled his sister's advice. The one who strikes first holds the advantage. First strike wins. Without a single moment of hesitation, Zhao Cheng charged forward. He'd been battling mutated beasts since he was 9, and this abomination would be no different. However, its speed was much greater than he expected, which made aiming for the red orb on its chest incredibly difficult. The wolf howled, and a blood-red energy suddenly flared up, wrapping around its entire body. Bloodthirsty wolf nature, a 15% speed boost. Its movements instantly became a blur. Fleshy tendrils shot out from its body like whips, wrapping tightly around Zhao Cheng as its fanged mouth opened wide to tear him apart. So fast. It really does have an attribute skill. Zhao Cheng gritted his teeth. At that critical moment, a sharp whistling sound cut through the air. The stone from Lu Zie's slingshot flew with perfect accuracy into the wolf's eye, causing it to howl in pain and stagger back. "Cheng Zi, now's your chance." Seizing the golden opportunity, Zhao Cheng mustered every last bit of his strength. Gripping the bone knife with both hands, he delivered a fatal strike right into the red orb in the center of the monster's chest. A sickening squelch echoed through the air as he gritted his teeth, driving the blade deeper, giving it zero chance of survival. "Get back!" Zhao Cheng yelled as he felt the monster's life force fading. But it was too late. Its enormous body collapsed, pinning him underneath. "Cheng Zi!" Lu Zie rushed forward in terror. "Are you okay?" At first there was only silence, but then a sound came from beneath the corpse. Zhao Cheng crawled out, covered in the monster's blood and fluids, but his eyes were still burning bright. "Relax. I don't die that easily." Just then, a series of notifications lit up in his mind. "Congratulations, you have been promoted to level 2. Radiant Grade Attribute, Eternal Evolution, has activated its effect. You may now acquire a new attribute. Please select one of the following 3 options. 1. Autonomous Research, Gold Grade. 2. Paper Strategist, Bronze Grade. 3. Durable Wolf Pelt, Gold Grade." Zhao Cheng was floored. So this was the power of a Radiant Grade attribute. He could get a brand new attribute just by leveling up. He ignored the bronze option, weighing the 2 gold grade choices. Autonomous Research had the number 1 next to it. He guessed it must be the starting attribute in a chain of upgradable powers. "I choose Autonomous Research." "Congratulations, you have received a new gold grade attribute. Autonomous Research 1 Detailed Description. Effect 1. Increases all character stats by 15%. The bonus effect from Eternal Evolution raises this to 22.5%. Effect 2. Active for 1 minute, now boosted to 1.5 minutes, can powerfully enhance any single attribute by 200%, now boosted to 300%. And this was just the first stage in the Autonomous Research attribute chain. This effect was absolutely broken. Zhao Cheng was stunned. "Hey, Cheng Zi, what are you spacing out for?" Lu Zie's voice snapped him back to reality. "We need to grab the loot and get out of here. The smell of blood is going to attract other monsters any minute." "Ah, right, I got distracted," Zhao Cheng replied. "Come over and get your share." "No way." Lu Zie quickly waved his hands, still looking a little pale. You're the one who killed it. So all the loot is yours. You know, my parents won't even let me kill a chicken at home. Zhao Cheng glanced at the young master's antics and could only shake his head, a strange warmth rising in his chest. In this chaotic and dangerous world, Yazi was a rare exception, a guy lucky enough to have a whole family, with both a loving mother and father. He was a beacon of light, the complete opposite of someone like Zhao Cheng, who was steeped in darkness. After finishing off the mutated wolf, Yazi started to divide the loot from their battle. The materials from this wolf are yours, but its meat is already rotten and totally useless. But these few crystal cores here are all yours. He set aside the bones and wolf pelt, as they held no value for him. That gray crystal core was the most valuable item of all. Yazi was stunned. You really want to give all this to me? But my family is recruiting soldiers right now, and we desperately need valuable items like these. Then just consider this my investment in your family's grand cause. Besides, if it wasn't for your arrow hitting its eye, I wouldn't have been able to take it down so easily. Gratitude lit up Yazi's eyes. All right, I'll remember this debt and I'll report it back to my father. We've got one more problem. The second we leave this place, they'll confiscate everything. Do you have a plan yet? I do. When we get out, we make our move on them. That's why we have to use every resource here to power up now. He knew his father couldn't have missed the fact that Zhao Ziji had forced him to come here. That old fox had everything planned out, just waiting for the right moment to show his hand. Then let's keep pushing deeper inside. Yazi suggested, my sister and I have run into mutated wolves before, on the outskirts of the residential area. This species usually travels in packs, so there's probably a whole den of them deeper in this forest. Suddenly, he stopped walking, his expression turning serious. Wait a second, Brother Cheng. We're comrades in arms now. I think before our next hunt, there are a few things we need to clear up. He prompted him. Go on. Well, after killing that wolf, my experience bar hit over 90%. I'm about to break through to level 2. My attribute is called Pao Dingji Nu, and it's gold quality. It not only adds 15% to all my stats, but it also gives me the ability to see a target's weak points. That's how I instantly knew the eye was the kill spot. Yazi was trying to be completely transparent to build trust, hoping it would help them coordinate better in future fights. But a nagging worry crept into Zhao Cheng's mind. If he found out he possessed a radiant grade attribute, a 1 in 10,000 rarity, what would he possibly think? Would this genuine and simple friendship they had just formed even survive? After a moment of internal debate, he clenched his fist and decided to hide a part of the truth. My attribute is self-mastery. It increases all my stats by 15%, and it can temporarily surge the power of any single stat for a short time. This was technically a part of his ability, so it wasn't a complete lie. Hearing this, Yazi let out a huge sigh of relief, a bright smile returning to his face. Whew, I was worried you were hiding your true strength, and I was terrified your attribute was way better than mine. You scared me to death. Yazi laughed out loud, slapping him hard on the shoulder. Awesome, our attributes are the same tier. We were destined to be brothers. Come on, my good brother, let's go hunt some wolves together. Zhao Cheng could only force a tight, strained smile. He thought, I'm sorry, Yazi. When the time is right, I swear I'll tell you the whole truth. And with that, their battle for survival officially began. With their coordination growing more seamless by the minute, one attacking head-on while the other provided cover, the mutated wolves fell one after another. And just as he'd promised, Zhao Cheng gave every single crystal core to Yazi. Brother Cheng, are you sure you don't need any? Yazi asked, feeling a little guilty. I'm good. These wolf bones and pelts are enough to craft weapons and armor, or I can trade them for item vouchers. With that, Yazi stopped hesitating. I finally reached level 2, and my experience is over 70%. What about you? What level are you at? Level 4, with over 50% experience. Yazi was completely stunned by that answer, his eyes wide in absolute disbelief. How much? Say that again. I'm the one landing the killing blow every time. You're just providing support from a distance. That's probably why there's a gap in the experience we get. Zhao Cheng had fabricated a perfectly reasonable excuse. Damn it. So it's all because this young master can't get over his fear of blood and gore. Yazi mumbled, his face turning bright red. Maybe I should be the one to charge in next time? He immediately waved his hands dismissively. No, I'd rather be support for you, Brother Cheng. I like being the support the most. Seeing his friend's awkward expression, Zhao Cheng couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, that performance wasn't fooling anybody. The reason he was leveling up so fast was because at level 3, he had unlocked his second radiant grade attribute, Absolute Lead. Though it was the same quality as his Book of Eternal Evolution, its ability was slightly weaker, purely granting a 50% experience boost for killing dungeon monsters. However, when combined with the effect from the Book of Eternal Evolution, The total experience he received shot up to an insane 75%. It seemed that even among attributes of the same radiant grade, there was a very clear difference in power. Just then, an angry voice echoed from the distance. Lu Zhu, what do you think you're doing? Hey, that voice sounds really nice. Zia's eyes lit up. Could there be someone else around? But Zhao Cheng quickly stopped his curious friend. Don't cause trouble, let's go another way. But Zia was already lost in his own imagination. A voice that good must belong to a beauty. Let's just take a quick look. No. Leveling up is more important, and every second we stay here is dangerous. It'll drain our life force. Just as they were about to leave, another voice, this time a smug man's, rang out. My lady, if you take off your clothes right now, we can be gentle about this. But if you don't cooperate, don't blame me for using force. Ziye immediately shot his friend a look, a sly grin on his face. Hey, Cheng Zi. Looks like we've got a show. Zhao Cheng squinted towards the sound, thought for a moment, and then nodded. All right, a little peek won't hurt. In a clearing not far away, a young woman was surrounded. Her voice was as cold as ice. So, you set this all up from the very beginning. The man named Lu Zhu just sneered. Of course, for a nobody like me, a chance to get close to someone of your stature is once in a lifetime. As you can see, my ability is a poison attribute. Even level 5 awakened ones have died from it, let alone a brand new level 1 like yourself. He stepped closer, not bothering to hide the disgusting lust in his eyes. My lady, just give up quietly. I'm not that bad looking, you know. I'll be sure to treat you well from now on. Besides, you have to marry eventually, and I happen to need the status of being a high official son-in-law to advance my career. You and I, we're a match made in heaven. Zia breathed into his hand, whispering to his friend. You getting all this? This servant is trying to overthrow his master, forcing her hand to secure his position. It's a dirty and ruthless way to climb the ladder. After all, if a scandal like this gets out, her family's reputation would be completely ruined. Hey, why are you so quiet? Something this exciting is happening, and you've got nothing to say? A calculating glint flashed in Zhao Cheng's eyes. If all her guards have been taken care of, then we have an opportunity. An opportunity? Zia was stunned. Dude, are you seriously thinking of joining them? I never knew you had such intense tastes. Zhao Cheng shot him a razor-sharp glare. No. We let them fight until they're both exhausted. Then, we'll be the ones to clean up the battlefield. He analyzed. That girl isn't ordinary, but at such a low level, she doesn't stand a chance. We just need to wait for the right moment. It finally dawned on Zia, who looked at his friend with both shock and awe. Cheng Zi, you are one seriously cunning guy. Lu Zhu let out a savage roar, his poison-laced arm shooting towards the cornered woman like a viper. Lady Guan, he sneered, if you won't cooperate nicely, I'll just have to help you myself. Please don't blame this humble one for being rough. Faced with mortal danger, the young woman's eyes still held a look of fierce determination. Suddenly, she threw a handful of powder right in Lu Zhu's face. What the hell is this? He yelled, instinctively shutting his eyes. Seizing the precious moment, the girl turned and fled for her life. It's just a numbing powder. It won't hold him for long. She had to find a way out. If she could just escape this place, she'd be safe. Haha, you think a little paralysis powder can stop me? Liu Zhu's mocking voice echoed from behind her. My lady, since you refuse to cooperate, don't blame me for being cruel. As he spoke, he flicked his wrist, sending several sharp daggers flying through the air at terrifying speed. 2 sickening thuds rang out. One dagger buried itself in her arm, another pierced through her calf. The searing pain made the girl collapse on the spot. Elsewhere, Zhao Cheng was explaining the rules of this world to Lu Zia, namely, the massive gap between levels. With each level up, all your physical functions are enhanced by about 30%. Liu Zia turned in shock. Cheng Zi, how do you know all this? I just figured it out, Zhao Cheng replied calmly. My reference point was that pack of rot wolves we just killed. Didn't you notice? When we were fighting the last few wolves, it felt a whole lot easier, didn't it? He was right. How did I never realize that Cheng Zi had such an incredible talent for combat? Liu Zia muttered to himself, his gaze full of admiration for his friend. Back at the confrontation, Lu Zhu slowly approached the woman writhing in pain on the ground. Don't you worry, my lady. He licked his lips, his voice dripping with sick desire. I promise I'll be as gentle as I possibly can. He leaned down, whispering right into her ear. Oh, and by the way, don't move around too much. The poison from my attribute has already entered your system. The more you struggle, the faster it will spread. Even if you take my body, you won't leave this place alive. The girl snarled through gritted teeth. The Guan family will never forgive a lowlife like you for daring to disgrace me. Ha ha. Liu Zhu burst out laughing. It seems my lady actually believed all my lies. I never had any intention of becoming part of the Guan family. All they wanted was to turn the clan's most pampered princess into a filthy commodity, just to destroy her family's name. Now, say goodbye to your innocence, Miss Guan, he sneered. But in this moment of pure desperation, the girl ripped the dagger from her own hand and with her last ounce of strength, lunged straight for Lu Zhu's throat. He was stunned. The pain and poison from his own weapon sent a violent tremor through his entire body. "You bitch! I gave you a chance and you spit on it, so just die," he roared, swinging to finish her. The girl closed her eyes, ready for the end. Just as Lu Zhu's blade came down, a figure shot in like a whirlwind. Zhao Cheng unleashed a thunderous kick, sending the scumbag flying. In that split second between life and death, the image of her rescuer's sharp features was burned into her mind forever. Lu Zhu was blasted 10 meters away, only stopping when he slammed into an ancient tree. Lu Jie ran up, his face filled with pure excitement. "Brother Cheng, that leap just now had to be your speed enhancement attribute, right?" "That was insane." Zhao Cheng awkwardly explained he had his reasons, but before he could finish, the woman couldn't hold on any longer, fainting in his arms. "How is she? Is she dead?" Lu Zai asked, worried. Zhao Cheng checked her pulse. She was still breathing. He figured it was the sudden release after being so tense, combined with the poison finally kicking in, that made her pass out. "But she's poisoned. I don't think she'll make it," Lu Zai sighed. "What a shame for a beauty like her." "She can't die," Zhao Cheng stated firmly. "She is an absolutely critical part of our plan to overthrow them. But she's poisoned, and we don't know the cure." "We don't," Zhao Cheng said with a smirk, his cold gaze shifting to the unconscious Lu Zhu. "But I bet he does." A little while later, Lu Zhu woke up to find he had been stripped of everything. He was left in nothing but his underwear. "Brother Cheng, you stripped him? Aren't you afraid his powerful backers will come for revenge? That girl already knows who he is. To his masters, he's a useless pawn now. Anyone who messes with us is messing with that noble lady." Zhao Cheng laid it out perfectly. Right. This young master was thinking the exact same thing. Lu Zie nodded as if he'd known all along. Lu Zhu's head throbbed, feeling like someone had kicked it into next week. Who did this? He opened his eyes and was horrified to see two faces staring down at him with incredibly sinister smiles. "Who are you? You lowlifes dare ambush me? Do you know who I am? Let me go now, or I will tear you to pieces." "So, Brother Cheng, what's the plan for him?" Lu Zie asked. Zhao Cheng slowly wiped his blade, his smile growing more dangerous. "We'll treat him like that mutant boar we caught last time." "Oh, then you're in for a real treat," Lu Zie added. "That boar screamed just like you are. It did not end well for him. I'm warning you two. I'm not some small fry you can just mess with." Shortly after, horrific screams echoed throughout the forest. Lu Zhu's face was beaten into a bloody, unrecognizable pulp. My blood is the antidote," he finally choked out. He stammered, his voice laced with terror. "You have to keep your word, no more hitting. Just take a little, too much will kill me. Whether you live or die depends entirely on whether or not you're telling the truth." Zhao Cheng replied coldly, dragging him next to the girl. He sliced a cut into the man's arm. "Ah, that hurts. Hey hero, be gentle." Zhao Cheng ignored his cries, squeezing the wound hard and letting the dark blood drip into the corner of the girl's mouth. "Ow, ow, hero, stop squeezing, that's enough. Any more is just a waste." Once he had enough blood, Zhao Cheng tossed him to Zia to watch over. He used some wolf moss to bandage the wound, masking the scent from monsters. After it was all done, Lu Zi smacked his lips, acting like a man of the world. Tisk, tisk. "Brother Cheng, you still fall short of this young master. That woman has some looks, I'll give her that, but my heart remains unmoved. I only love my Xiao Yu." Meanwhile, though cured, the girl was still in a deep coma, tormented by the pain. "Don't be impatient," Lu Zhu explained weakly. "A healing attribute needs some time to work." A few minutes later, as the gentle green light faded, Guan Shue's eyes slowly fluttered open. The burning pain was gone, replaced by a warm, vital energy. She looked at Zhao Cheng with surprise. "It was you. You saved me." "I had my own reasons," Zhao Cheng admitted bluntly, not hiding a thing. "We happened to overhear your conversation. You must be that high-status lady they were talking about, right?" Guan Shui hesitated. He might have his own agenda, but he did save her life. Besides, Lu Zhu had likely given away her identity already. She realized there was no reason to hide it any longer. The Guan family name was too well known for him not to recognize it. "That's right," she confirmed. "My surname is Guan. So, is your father the manager of one of the survivor settlements?" Zhao Cheng asked a question that left Guan Shui absolutely stunned. What was he even asking? Guan Shui was floored. Did this guy seriously not recognize the Guan name, or was he just playing dumb? Liu Zu's entire plan was being ruined by these two morons. He demanded they answer him, and fast. Zhao Cheng's expression was dead serious. Guan Shui just gave him a vague answer, something like that. The Guan family managed hundreds of settlements, big and small, so calling her dad a manager wasn't wrong. Zhao Cheng's face instantly turned grave. So then, since he saved her life, could she ask her father to do him a little favor? Let's hear what you want first, Guan Shui replied cautiously. My life might not be worth as much as you think. I want to overthrow the ruler of our settlement, Zhao Cheng declared, his voice filled with resolve. If your father is a manager, he has to be powerful. With her family's backing, their chances of victory would skyrocket. Guan Shui was stunned. After all that talk, this is what he was after? It was like he'd read her mind. Zhao Cheng quickly explained, I know it's a huge ask and you could take losses, but we can make it worth your while. You're in this dungeon to gather supplies and gain experience, right? My friend and I can act as your bodyguards, protecting you for the rest of the way. Then he added, furthermore, every single supply we gather from now on will be yours, if you just agree to help. Guan Shui glanced over at Zhao Cheng's teammate in the goggles. Lu Ziye just shrugged. I have no say in it. He calls all the shots. Guan Shui quietly sized Zhao Cheng up. He was her age, but the calm and decisiveness in his every move was on another level entirely. He was a little naive, sure, but adventuring with him in this dungeon might actually be interesting. Deal, she smiled, extending her hand. I'm Guan Shui. It's a pleasure. Zhao Cheng shook it, feeling a grip that was soft, yet full of resolve. And that's Lu Ziye, my good friend. Witnessing the scene, Lu Zu, who was standing nearby, was absolutely boiling with rage. The noble young lady of the Guan family, casually making physical contact with some lowlife from the gutter. How could a woman like that possibly be worthy of our young master? Then, Guan Shui turned. So, what are you going to do with him? Guan Shui gestured to the tightly bound Lu Zhu. Zhao Cheng answered casually. We're teammates now. Disposing of him is your call. Consider it a welcoming gift from us. Lu Zhu was scared out of his mind, immediately kowtowing and begging. Young miss, I was blinded by greed. Please, I beg you to spare my life. All right, I'll handle this myself, Guan Shui said, slowly standing up. She then bent down and picked up Lu Zu's own poisoned dagger. Wait, Zhao Cheng cut in. His blood works as an antidote. Using his own dagger won't be able to kill him. Yes, the master is wise. Lu Zhu hurriedly chimed in. Just let me go. Pretend I'm nothing. I know, Guan Shui replied coldly. I don't intend to poison him. I just need to make him bleed. And without another moment of hesitation, she plunged the dagger straight into Lu Zhu's shoulder. Blood gushed out, staining the ground red as he let out a miserable scream. All right, let's go. She turned and walked away without a second glance. After a moment, Lu Ziye nudged Zhao Cheng, giving him a look. That woman is surprisingly soft-hearted. He killed 4 people and almost assaulted her, yet she still couldn't bring herself to kill him. It's not like that. In this dungeon, Zhao Cheng said in a low voice, the smell of his fresh blood is the perfect bait to attract monsters. Lu Ziye was stunned. Right. He'd totally forgotten. Contrary to being soft-hearted, Zhao Cheng continued. What I felt from her was a terrifying coldness. Letting monsters tear him to pieces is 10 times more painful than a single stab to the heart. Hearing this, the corner of Lu Ziye's mouth twitched uncontrollably. He had completely misjudged her. She was a cruel and calculating player after all. Meanwhile, Lu Zhu was still struggling frantically to escape from his bonds. That damn Guan bitch. When I get out of here, I'll make you wish you were dead. No. First, I'll let my men have their fun with you. His curses were cut short by a low growl from the darkness. Mutated wolves, drawn by the smell of blood, had arrived. How did they get here so fast? He was terrified. Hey, you guys stay back. A final, desperate scream echoed through the forest, and then faded into silence. Lu Ziye shuddered. Yikes, from the sound of that, he's definitely a goner. You acted a bit rashly, Zhao Cheng suddenly said to Guan Shui. Keeping him alive could have led us to the mastermind. She replied, How very kind of you. Guan Shui smiled. But I don't have any grudges, and I've already figured out who's pulling the strings. At the very least, he could have served as a living witness. If the mastermind has a high enough status, she explained. A living witness just brings more trouble. Just then, a huge black shadow leaped down from the trees, opening a mouthful of razor-sharp fangs as it dove right for them. Skill activated. Self. Research 1, Effect 2. For 90 seconds, his agility attribute is boosted by 300%. Time itself seemed to slow down as the monster snapped its jaws on empty air. Just in time, Zhao Cheng grabbed Guan Shui and shot away. When the two of them landed safely, the monster's true form was finally revealed. It was a colossal wolf, its body encased in an eerie white bone armor. The system identified it, a level 5 Netherbone Wolf King. This beast was the sub-boss of the entire Netherworld forest. "No way," Lu Ziye screamed, his voice cracking with fear. "That's the Wolf King." At that very moment, from every direction, countless red eyes began to glow in the shadows. Dozens of other mutated wolves had gathered, trapping the three of them. "Oh my god, we're completely surrounded." Lu Ziye trembled. "The king is here for revenge. We killed too many of his pack." "What are you rambling about at a time like this?" Zhao Cheng snapped. "Focus and find a way out." His eyes narrowed as he issued a firm command. "Ziye, your job is to use your slingshot and protect Miss Guan. Leave the entire pack to me." Lu Ziye stammered in total panic. "What? Fight that thing? That's the Wolf King. The others are no joke either. I'm only level 2, how can I possibly protect her?" But Zhao Cheng's gaze remained locked on the massive Wolf King. That was his target all along. Zhao Cheng, level 4, 89% experience. He had already calculated everything in his head. Since hitting level 4, the experience from these weaker wolves was almost nothing. To break through to level 5 in one go, the only path forward was to face the boss, Wolf King itself. That was also the real reason he hadn't stopped Guan Shui from injuring Lu Zhu. He needed the smell of blood to lure this monster out. He needed its head as a stepping stone on his path to true power. But then Guan Shui called out, "Zhao Cheng, wait a moment." He turned back. "What is it?" "The old texts say to do a job well, one must first sharpen their tools. The bone blade in your hand is completely chipped." With that, she reached into a small pouch attached to her skirt. It was a simple motion, but it carried an air of nobility. A sharp, gleaming dagger flashed in the forest's dim light. "This dagger is no legendary weapon, but it's definitely better than that bone knife of yours." He was shocked, wondering how she hid that in such a short skirt. Still, he took the dagger, feeling its satisfying weight and sharp edge. "Thanks." Without another word, he gripped the new weapon and became a blur, shooting straight for the Wolf King. Taking full advantage of his speed buff, he zipped right past the massive beast's head. Trying to take down a monster this huge with a frontal assault was just suicide. The Wolf King let out a world-shaking roar, snapping at empty air, but he had already twisted mid-jump, landing lightly on its back. He just needed to find and destroy its blood-red energy core. That was his only shot at winning this. Clinging to its thick fur, he readied the dagger. One hit to the right spot, and this entire fight would be over. And then he saw it, a faint red glow emanating from under its belly. But just as he moved in for the finishing blow, the other wolves snarled in unison, tightening their formation around him. They blocked his path forward, forcing him to fall back and dodge their vicious attacks. Their initial charge was just a feint. These wolves were smarter than he gave them credit for. But no matter how clever a wolf is, it's no match for human strategy. A confident smirk touched his lips. He never intended to deal with just the Wolf King from the very beginning. These level 2 bone wolves were no longer a threat to him. Activating his self-research skill, a torrent of power surged through his body. A system notification appeared. The gold-tier self-research skill had been activated. All attributes increased by 15%. Then a resonance from his Eternal Evolution book kicked in, boosting the effect to 22.5%. The dagger in his hand carved a deadly arc through the air, easily slicing a netherbone wolf in two. Simple tricks are a joke against absolute power. After finishing one off, he landed and shouted, "Ziye, coordinate with me." "Got it," Ziye instantly replied. He activated his butcher's art skill, his eyes glowing gold as he immediately spotted the pack's weak points. Stones shot from his slingshot with shocking accuracy, slamming directly into the fatal spots he could now see. With the enemies stunned, he lunged forward like a whirlwind, his blade striking at the red energy cores. Guan Shui watched, thinking to herself that their coordination was flawless. Honed through countless battles and perfectly in sync, she thought he was just another follower, but it was clear she had completely misjudged the man. The Wolf King let out a furious roar as a bloodthirsty aura exploded from its body. The system announced it had activated its bloodthirsty wolf instinct. At the same time, its speed shot up by 15%. This was it, the final move, but its target wasn't him. The giant beast turned and charged straight for the two weaker members in the back. Lu Ziye screamed as the Wolf King's massive jaw opened wide, ready to swallow them both whole. Crouching down, he roared, channeling all his power into his legs, and shot forward like an arrow. He knew one hit could finish it, but to be absolutely sure, he had to unleash everything. Flame enchantment. A system notification popped up, confirming the attribute's activation. The Karma Fire effect was applied to his weapon, dealing 30% fire damage and a 30% chance to inflict a burn that drains 3% max HP every 10 seconds. The blade in his hand erupted with crimson hellfire as he let out a roar, pouring every ounce of strength into the throw. The dagger became a blazing meteor, tearing through the night, carving a deep, scorched trench where it passed over the ground. The Ling King was completely engulfed in the inferno, only managing a horrifying shriek before its massive body was incinerated. His dagger now lay buried deep in an ancient tree, still radiating an intense, shimmering heat. Holy cow. That move was insane, Lu Xie stammered, his face still pale with complete and utter shock. The girl watched, stunned. This incredible power, even the masters below level 8 in her family could hardly produce such devastating force. But this dungeon was capped for anyone over level 5. So just what level was he? What level was Zhao Cheng right now? She turned to ask Lu Xie, who just shook his head. Definitely over level 4. Way higher than me, I'm only level 2. For a level 4 to pull off a level 8 feat. And with that flame ability, he could only have one attribute at his current level. So that had to be his awakened ability. But it was clearly just a weak, bronze quality attribute. To wield such a weak skill with this much destructive power, she realized she might have just found the talent her father was always searching for. Leaving the other two to their amazement, Zhao Cheng allowed himself a small smile. It worked. Then, a system notification appeared. He had slain the Ling King and received a massive amount of experience. His absolute leadership skill activated, increasing the gain by 75%. A new alert popped up he'd reached level 5. The Book of Eternal Evolution had just opened a new page, its effect activating. He had acquired a new attribute, and now had to choose one from a list of 3 options. The Bloodthirsty Wolf Instinct attribute had a full description, probably since he'd seen it in action before. It was the safer, easier choice, but he knew attributes from the same system had far greater potential. He was willing to gamble. He chose Headshot Critical. The system confirmed his choice. He had received the new Bronze Tier attribute, Headshot Critical. The description was simple. After use, the next attack would be a guaranteed critical hit, with crit damage boosted by 150%. Thanks to his book, the cooldown was only 10 minutes. It was another combat skill, just like his flame enchantment. While the effect was straightforward, combining it with his other skills could create a devastating finisher at the perfect moment. He shook his head, pushing the strategies aside for now. The priority was skinning the Ling King and collecting all the loot. Zhao Cheng walked over to the tree, pulling his daggers from the trunk, when the girl asked, "What are you even collecting that stuff for? You can trade them for item vouchers, or use them to craft clothes and weapons," Zhao Cheng explained briefly while checking his blades. "In our settlement, these are all rare materials. But as we agreed," he added, "they belong to you now." The girl scoffed internally. Rare? These low-level monster claws? Back home, even the lowliest servant wouldn't give them a second glance. She couldn't help but wonder what kind of rundown settlement these two could have possibly come from. But immediately, her father's words echoed in her mind. Never look down on anyone. Every life in this world holds infinite potential. She suddenly realized just how right her father had been. Even in some tiny place she had never even heard of, a true genius like Zhao Cheng could still emerge. Just then, Zhao Cheng looked down at his arm. The gray streaks of death energy were spreading. "Looks like we're running out of time." He said it calmly, but Lu Xie was not nearly as composed. "The death energy here is making my whole arm go numb. Zhao Cheng, you're an absolute beast. It's painful, it's numb, and my blood feels like it's turning to ice. And you just say you're a little numb? That's exactly why we need to hurry," Zhao Cheng replied. His gaze was firm. "Let's go. The higher my level gets, the better our chances are of taking them down. If you want EXP faster than just wandering around for mobs, there's a much better place," the girl interjected. Lu Xie asked immediately. "A better place? Every dimensional dungeon has a boss," she explained. "Taking it down gives way more bonus experience than regular monsters. Plus, the boss's territory usually holds treasure, like high-grade crystals, legendary weapons, or powerful defensive gear. Boss hunting is tough," she finished, "but the rewards are unmatched." Lu Xie suddenly paused. "Wait a second." He slapped his forehead. "Didn't we just take down a boss? That huge Ling King had final boss written all over it." Lu Xie, Zhao Cheng cut in calmly. "She just made a point to emphasize the boss's territory. So that means the boss actually guards the treasure in a fixed spot, instead of just wandering around looking for a fight." "Oh, right. This young master remembers now." Lu Xie scratches his head, trying to play it cool. "You didn't really need to explain it that much. Chengzi, this young master gets it. This friend of Zhao Cheng's is pretty interesting, But the real problem is, how do we find the boss? The clock is ticking, and they can't afford to waste any time. Finding the boss is indeed a hassle, but for a pathetic, low-grade instance like this, I have something that can help. She once again reached into her dress, searching for something. Hey Chengzi, you hear that? Liu Ziye leaned close to his friend, whispering, "This girl is totally trying to show off to us. We almost died in this so-called low-grade instance, and now she's acting all casual. Seriously, what is that dress of hers made of? It's like a bottomless bag, she can pull anything out of it. Maybe these instances really are ranked after all." Zhao Cheng whispered back, "We never knew, but she comes from the management class. It's only normal that she knows more than we do. And as for pulling out items, that's probably a special ability tied to her attribute. But hey, I've noticed you keep defending her. What's with you, little man? Are you hitting that age already?" "Found it," Guan Shui called out, cutting their conversation short. She pulled out an ancient compass, thinking to herself that this was a valuable item, better not to act like it's too precious in front of them. Boss Sensing Needle, blue quality. The description states that inside a blue-grade instance or lower, it can precisely pinpoint the boss's location. Its origin was the personal belongings of a mysterious captain, discovered in the treasure of a blue-grade instance. The moment the compass pointed in a direction, Zhao Cheng didn't hesitate. "Let's go." "Hey, don't just ignore this, young master," Liu Ziye whined as he ran after them. Before long, the three of them arrived at a large cave. In front of them sat a glittering treasure chest, and right next to it, a giant monster was sound asleep. Its body looked like a massively scaled-up wild boar. "Oh my god, is that the boss?" Liu Ziye gulped. As if sensing their presence, the monster's blood-red eyes suddenly snapped open. "Is this thing going to be way too strong?" Hong Ma Shi. Classification: Level 10 Boss. Description: Guardian of the treasure and the only boss in this instance. After its defeat, the instance will collapse. Warning: be careful of its sharp tusks and the poisonous spines on its back. It possesses 2 awakened attribute lines. Zhao Cheng frowned, doing the math. Guan Shui was level 1, Liu Ziye was level 3, and he himself was only level 5. A level 10 boss, its physical stats must be absolutely terrifying. With just the 3 of them, taking it down was practically impossible. You guessed right. My master warned me never to provoke the boss, even if I brought 5 elite guards along. It's an existence that goes way beyond the normal standard. To kill it, you'd have to be a monster class awakened, the kind of person whose combat power far exceeds their actual level. So then why did you lead us here? Was this all pointless? Liu Ziye grumbled. Guan Shui didn't answer. She just looked quietly toward Zhao Cheng, her eyes filled with complete trust. He was exactly that kind of monster class awakened. Someone's coming. At Zhao Cheng's sudden signal, the 3 of them immediately ducked behind a large rock. A group of men dressed like bandits, armed with firearms, was entering the cave. The leader let out a huge laugh. This boss's luck is just on another level. I've been in this trash instance nearly a dozen times, and I've finally found you. You stupid pig. Chengzi, are those guys insane? Liu Ziye whispered. Not necessarily. One of them might have a powerful attribute. Zhao Cheng narrowed his eyes at the weapon in the leader's hand. That thing is called a gun. But what's a gun? He had seen people use them before to hunt mutated wild dogs outside the residential area. Its power is immense. Unless you're a high-level awakened, a normal person stands no chance. Guan Shui glanced at the advanced rifle in the leader's hands, her eyes showing "That's just a replica. Anyway," she explained. The real weapons from the ancient era were far more terrifying. Liu Ziye, a total lore nerd, was immediately captivated. People from the ancient era possessed weapons of destruction. I heard just one of them was enough to flatten a residential area with hundreds of thousands of people. He was amazed. Were they really that powerful? So why did our world end up in this pathetic state? Their weapons were powerful. But what if awakeners with top-tier attributes are even more frightening? Guan Shui countered, saying there are awakeners so strong their mere existence is enough to change an entire world. Their conversation was cut short by a world-shaking explosion up ahead. The fight had begun. The leader of the gang, his face full of arrogance, continuously fired his gun at the giant boar. Activate. Bronze attribute bullets. Effect. When using a firearm, one can convert their power into a continuous supply of ammunition. He fired like a madman. The gunshots taste this young master's bullets, you filthy beast. Zhao Cheng squinted, assessing the situation. If those guys could keep the boss's attention, they might be able to get the treasure without fighting it directly. So, you're looking to be the fisherman who reaps the rewards? Guan Shui suddenly asked. Zhao Cheng just stared, completely lost. She meant he planned to snatch the sunken treasure while the other 2 sides were locked in chaos. She explained it was an old saying he wouldn't have learned. Lu Ziye immediately seized the opportunity to show off, chiming in, "Good thing you have me, right? A well-read and brilliant brother. Honestly, I'm jealous of you for having a friend as amazing as me." Guan Shui quietly shook her head, thinking the guy never missed a chance to hype himself up. That was the idea, though. Zhao Cheng admitted it freely. With someone else making a mess of things, grabbing the treasure was their best shot. Based on the strength of the three of them, a direct confrontation with the boss was practically a suicide mission. "Hold on." Guan Shui stopped him. "The negative energy from this dungeon is seriously corroding your arm. If you don't deal with it now, it's going to affect your actions. In a situation this dangerous, one tiny slip-up could cost you your life." Saying that, she pulled out 2 jade green pills. "This is a special medicine from my family. It can resist the corrosion of low-level dungeons. One for you and one for Lu Zai." "Awesome," Lu Zai exclaimed, quickly swallowing his pill. "This dark energy was killing me. Why didn't you bring these out sooner?" Zhao Cheng held the pill, hesitating, and asked, "Is this thing expensive?" He remembered what Zaye had said. Just the entrance fee for this dimensional dungeon was over 100 supply tickets, so a specially crafted pill like this one. What could its real value possibly be? They had a deal, sure, but what she'd already given them was far beyond what they could ever hope to repay. Seeing the look on his face, Guan Shui just answered casually, "It's very cheap. You probably can't buy them where you live, but it's only 1 supply ticket per pill. Thank you. I'll pay you back later," Zhao Cheng said before finally taking the medicine. "Phew, that scared me to death. I really thought it was going to be 100 supply tickets for one." Lu Ziye breathed a sigh of relief. Guan Shui hid a small smile, thinking he was surprisingly sharp. He was obviously broke as a joke, but the kid had his own set of principles, refusing to owe anyone even the smallest favor. If I told him the pill actually cost 2,000 tickets, he'd probably rather die than take it. Meanwhile, the battle ahead was only getting more intense. The other group had the numbers, but they were being constantly thrown back by the powerful boss, with casualties piling up left and right. "Watch out for the spikes on its back. You bastard! Stop! Don't you dare touch my brothers!" The leader roared in absolute fury, continuing to unload his weapon. The boss's health bar slowly ticked down from 92% to 85%. Suddenly, the wild boar roared, and its entire body became covered in a layer of iron-hard scales. Skill activated, bronze, tier reinforced scales. The effect reinforces its outer hide. The higher the level, the greater the hardening. Ping, ping, ping. The bullets were now just bouncing off it like nothing. Damn it, I knew it. One of its attributes had to be a defense buff. This thing is a real pain to deal with. The leader gritted his teeth as the boar turned and charged straight for him. "Bring it on," he roared, showing no fear. "You think I'm scared of you? After I kill you, I still have to lead my brothers to a better life. Ha, what the hell is there to be afraid of? My brothers and I have crossed mountains of knives and seas of fire. You think we're scared of some dumb pig?" The remaining thugs immediately formed a human wall, shielding their boss. Skill activated. Bronze, tier iron wall. Effect: increases personal defense by 15%. A whole series of defensive skills triggered at once, forming an unbelievably solid shield. Before we fall, this beast won't lay a single finger on our boss. Witnessing this scene, Zhao Cheng couldn't help but be shocked. He originally thought they were just a disorganized mob, but now he saw that wasn't the case at all. That leader must have some real skill to inspire such a loyal group of followers. "But our job right now is this lock," he said, turning to the sunken treasure chest. Lu Ziye and Guan Shui were both stunned. "You even know how to pick locks?" "Of course Cheng Zi knows how," Lu Ziye said with pride. "When he was exploring the world outside the settlement, I heard he picked a ton of locks." "What does the outside world even look like?" Guan Shui asked curiously. "I rarely leave the settlement, and if I do, it's only to the designated safe zones," Lu Ziye answered. But Cheng Zi once said, "It's both a desolate ruin and a place bursting with fierce, untamed life." What kind of world did he really see out there? Guan Shui wondered. Her gaze complicated as she watched Zhao Cheng concentrate on picking the lock. "It's open. The structure is exactly the same as the locks in the outside world," Zhao Cheng exclaimed. "So what's actually hidden inside this thing?" But just as he lifted the lid, another terrifying explosion erupted from the battle. The wild boar let out an enraged roar. Its body began to radiate an incredible heat, and the ground around it started to crack apart. Skill activated. Bronze. Tier thermal conversion. Effect: consumes stamina. It converts its breath into a heat wave that can reach up to 140 degrees Celsius. Its health was now at just 41%, and its bloodshot, hate-filled eyes had turned and locked dead on to the three of them. "Well, this is bad," Zhao Cheng muttered. It was targeting them. The massive monster, burning like a fireball, went completely berserk and charged. He gripped his daggers, his eyes locked on the raging beast in front of him. It was coming, but suddenly, bullets from a distance slammed into the monster's thick hide, successfully catching its attention. He glanced back, completely stunned to see the soldiers of the Red Wolf squad, men he thought were down, struggling to raise their guns. Weren't those guys already wiped out? A man covered in blood, likely the captain, roared at him. Kid, you need to run. This thing is way out of your league. Don't get yourself killed for nothing. My squad and I are done for. We're not getting out of this dungeon alive, another yelled. So get lost, kid, and make sure you survive. Even the men dying on the ground tried to wave him off, their voices faint but filled with resolve. Go on, kid. And don't you forget the Red Wolf squad saved you. Saving one more life before the end, that's our captain. But amidst the gunfire and defiant yells, he made the opposite choice. He launched himself straight at the monster, turning back just long enough to scream at his only companion. Zaya, back me up. Damn it, if we run now, what kind of people are we? Lu Zia let out a roar, bursting from his hiding spot without a moment's hesitation to activate his ability. Lu Zia activated his gold-tier Storming Bull Butcher, his mind's eye skill locked onto a weak point. Cheng hit its rear end. The moment he got the order, he didn't hesitate, driving his blade straight into the wild boar's massive backside. A single, perfect strike sent its health bar plummeting down to 35%, leaving the Red Wolf soldiers completely stunned. This kid with just daggers dealt that much damage to a level 10 boss in its rage mode. Just who was he? The wild boar let out a scream of pure agony as its entire body began glowing red-hot, like a walking furnace. The Crimson Spike Boar activated its bronze-tier heat flow conversion, burning stamina to turn its breath into a 140-degree heat wave. A terrifying blast of heat erupted towards him, forcing him to leap back instantly to safety. There it was, that insane heat wave ability. Rushing in for close combat now would be like grilling himself alive. He had to figure out a way to dodge the attack, while still landing a finishing blow. A level 10 monster can have two abilities, and it had just used both. Seeing him dodge, the boar grew even more aggressive. It charged him head-on, trying to use the scorching heat aura around its body to close the distance and burn him. But just then, the Red Wolf soldiers opened fire again, desperately drawing the monster's hatred back to them. This bastard. You think I'm just some pushover? Kid, all of our lives are riding on you now. Finish it. Feeling their trust and their sacrifice, a fire ignited within Long Zhaocheng. Thank you, he yelled. I'll give it everything I have, he roared, unleashing every last bit of power. A system notification appeared. Self-developed speed boost activated, increasing speed by 300%. Activating flame enhancement, his weapon was now imbued with karmic fire, dealing bonus fire attribute damage. This gave him a 30% chance to burn the target, reducing its max health by 3% every 10 seconds. An effect boosted by the Book of Eternal Evolution. Its health was at 30%, while his was still a healthy 85. He activated every combat skill he had, pouring it all into one final strike. He and the beast, two opposing forces of fire and ice, charged straight at each other. Zia screamed. The weak point, Cheng. Right as he yelled, a single rock flew through the air, striking a precise point just under the monster's left flank. He instantly changed direction, gripping his flaming daggers tight and lunging for that fatal spot. Seizing the golden opportunity, he began his symphony of destruction. He slashed, and slashed, and slashed again. His blades became a literal firestorm, raining down on that one single weakness. Its health bar was just melting away. Could Zhao Cheng actually win this? Don't you dare lose, kid. Faster, go faster, you have to hold on. Each slash drained him, but it also drained the monster's life force. When its health bar finally hit rock bottom with only 1% left, he summoned his last ounce of strength and plunged both daggers deep inside. The colossal boar finally crashed to the ground. The heavy impact shook the earth as the suffocating heat and immense pressure began to fade. Cheng, we did it. Zia's voice rang out, but his body was at its limit, covered in severe burns. He trembled, barely able to stand. Hey, Cheng. Zhao Cheng? Only when he saw everyone rushing over did he finally let himself collapse to the ground, gasping for air. As he slowly recovered, system notifications flooded his mind. Absolute leadership activated, granting 75% bonus experience. Congratulations, you have reached level 6. Congratulations, you have reached level 7. The Book of Eternal Evolution has been activated. Please select a new attribute. 2 levels at once for beating a boss. 5 levels above him, the amount of experience he gained was just insane. A whole menu of choices appeared: bronze, skin hardening to boost defense. But the side effect? A wild boar's attribute, causing massive hair growth. Bronze bullet composition required a gun, an ancient weapon he couldn't afford. Golden loot reset strike, effect unknown. Bronze headshot strike 2, effect also unknown. Then there was bronze metallic evolution, turning his body into metal. And golden autonomous research 2, another mystery. Skin hardening was powerful, but that side effect was just too weird. The bullet skill was useless. But that loot reset strike, what could it be? Still, it was a golden tier attribute. He had to choose it. A system notification popped up. You have received the golden attribute, loot reset strike. The effect: reset the cooldown time of all other attributes one time only. That 30-minute cooldown was now adjustable. This was an insane support skill. He could now unleash his main skills back to back. Next up, a choice between headshot strike 2, metallic evolution, and autonomous research 2. He chose to upgrade his existing attribute chain. He selected autonomous research 2. The system chimed. You have received the golden attribute, autonomous research 2. Effect 1. All attributes increased by 45%. Already adjusted. Effect 2. A single attribute is enhanced by 450%. Duration, 3 minutes. Cooldown, 15 minutes. Adjusted. All attributes boosted by 45%. As expected, the golden tier attribute chain was on a whole other level. That second effect was also terrifyingly powerful. He was level 7 now, just one level behind Zhao Jiji. Zhao Jiji, just you wait. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble violently. What was happening? An earthquake? No. The instance boss was dead. This place was about to collapse. Qian Meng's group staggered to their feet, wounds still bleeding, but their eyes on Zhao Cheng had completely changed. Their leader slammed a hand on his shoulder. Kid, not bad. From now on, you're a friend to me, Qian Meng. I owe you my life. He turned and yelled, Brothers, we're leaving. Yes, boss. His underlings obeyed without question, amazed by the sheer power of the man who had just saved them. Once they were gone, Liu Zie stumbled over. Cheng, you still able to move? I'm fine, Zhao Cheng replied, though his breath was a little ragged. We need to get out of here fast. He glanced around. Where did the treasure chest go? She gave a slight wave of her hand, and the chest appeared. All right, here's your share, as promised. No need. Zhao Cheng shook his head. These all belong to you. This dagger, too. He handed the weapon back to her. Guan Shui took it back, her gaze complicated as she looked at him. You promised you'd help me overthrow the management class. I will definitely come find you. Residence 226, West Harbor District. Zhao Cheng replied. Liu Zie already told me. Thank you. A shame, Liu Zie sighed, his tone pessimistic. I'm afraid you won't make it in time. The moment we step out of here, we're walking straight into a fight for our lives. Guan Shui looked him dead in the eye, her voice as firm as an oath. I will absolutely make it. And with that, the three of them split up, each heading for their own portal just before the dungeon completely crumbled. On the way, Liu Zie couldn't hide his anxiety. Cheng, what do we do when we get out? Don't worry, Zhao Cheng reassured him. I've already prepared for this. Outside the dungeon entrance in Residence 226, Zhao Jiji and his thugs were waiting impatiently. The moment Zhao Cheng and Liu Zie appeared, a twisted smirk spread across his face. I'm surprised you two rats actually made it out alive. But it doesn't really matter. He gestured at Liu Zie. Your parents led a rebellion of fake awakeners. The management has issued an order. Kill on sight. Just as he'd expected. After Uncle Liu heard he'd been thrown into the dungeon, he must have acted immediately. Well then, Zhao Cheng said coldly. Let's just clean up this trash and regroup with everyone. Right now, Zhao Cheng had hit level 7. A whole slate of powerful attributes were now unlocked. Eternal Evolution Book, Absolute Leadership, Autonomous Research, Headshot Strike, Heart-Piercing Thrust, and Flame Enchantment. Liu Zie had also reached level 3, awakening the Butcher's Dissection attribute. Zhao Zijie just laughed. I'm a level 8 awakener, with a gold tier super speed attribute. You two pieces of trash actually think you can take us on? Go on. Give these two brats a taste of true despair. Brother Zhao, let us handle this. A bootlicker swung his sword and charged. You rookies dared to piss us off. Time to settle the score. Kill them, and bring me their heads for the reward. But before the thug could even get close, a black shadow blurred right past him. Zhao Cheng drew his sword, his body seeming to merge with the blade itself. He took a deep breath, and then charged headfirst into the crowd. Too slow. His blade flashed like lightning. In just a few breaths, Zhao Ziji's lackeys collapsed like cut grass. Zhao Ziji. Zhao Cheng stood in a field of bodies, his blade still dripping blood. Do you still think I'm that weakling you can just trample on? His remaining men stumbled back in sheer terror. his speed. I couldn't even see his sword swings. Just then, the spatial gate behind them began to fade away. Brother Zhao, the portal is disappearing. Zhao Zhiji was stunned. How could this be? There's only one reason for a dungeon to vanish. The boss has been defeated. He glared at the two of them, his mind racing. Did someone else kill the boss, letting you two leech the experience? It looks like you've at least hit level 2, maybe even 3. Regular people can't touch you now. But in front of me? You're still just a couple of rookies. Leeching experience, huh? Lu Ziye suddenly burst out laughing. Zhao Zhiji, you guessed wrong. The one who killed the boss was me, your grandpa, Lu Ziye. As he spoke, he prayed, "Come on, Cheng, just let me look cool for a minute." That single sentence immediately grabbed all of Zhao Zhiji's attention. If Lu Ziye really killed the boss, his level must be even higher than Zhao Cheng's. He had to take down Zhao Cheng first. It was his only chance to win. And let me tell you something else. Liu Ziye continued his epic bluff. I've awakened a gold tier attribute. Zhao Ziji, your judgment day is here. He decided right then and there. Kill Zhao Cheng first. Zhao Ziji roared, unable to take the taunts any longer, and charged straight for Zhao Cheng. You two, hold him back. Yes, sir. The two goons reluctantly rushed towards Lu Ziye, cursing under their breath. Damn it. If Lu Ziye really killed the boss, he's definitely stronger than Zhao Cheng. That bastard, Zhao Ziji, only knows how to pick on the weak, sending his own men to die. But they never expected the master Lu Ziye to immediately turn and bolt. Cheng, he's all yours. Zhao Ziji didn't care. All of his killing intent was laser, focused on Zhao Cheng. Die, clang. His blade was blocked with ease. This kid, his raw strength is insane. He was shocked. The murky fog forest is just a white tier dungeon. The max level shouldn't exceed 4. This kind of power can't possibly come from a level 4. It seems you've awakened a strength-type attribute. Zhao Ziji smirked. But my extreme speed attribute is your perfect counter. If you can't touch me, all that strength is useless. He activated his ability, his speed jumping by 30%. His entire body became a blur, launching attacks from every angle. Let's see you keep up with my speed now. But then, the impossible happened. Clang, clang, clang. No matter how fast he moved, every single one of his attacks was perfectly blocked or dodged by Zhao Cheng. What is going on? How? Zhao Ziji screamed in his mind. How is he keeping up with me? Even if he got all the boss experience, he'd be level 4 at most. How the hell could he match the speed of a gold-enhanced level 8 awakened? As he frantically swung his sword, Zhao Cheng roared, his words cutting deeper than any blade into Zhao Ziji's mind. Zhao Ziji, ever since she left, you've come to my house every few days just to cause trouble. Every single time, you'd either tear my broken home apart or beat me half to death. Then you'd steal every last one of my supply coupons. How many times did you almost starve me to death? The horrifying memories of 3 years of humiliation flooded back. He could see Zhao Ziji smashing everything, grabbing him by the collar, growling, "Where is it? Where did you hide it?" That image flashed through his mind. I knew from the very beginning that your target was that awakening stone. Zhao Cheng screamed, his voice cracking with pure rage. You want to steal it, but do you even know? That damn thing you covet so much. She had to trade her own body to get it for me. Shut your mouth, you talk too much. Zhao Ziji roared back, but a sliver of fear was now visible in his eyes. Zhao Cheng paid him no mind, raising his sword as energy exploded from his body. Activate Self-Developed Skill 1, Gold Attribute. Activate Self-Developed Skill 2, Gold Attribute. Activate Flame-Binding Demon, Bronze Attribute. Activate Headshot Strike 1, White Attribute. The sword in his hand began to glow, shrouded in a deadly swirling mix of energies. This single strike holds all the hatred I've suppressed for 3 long years. It's the rage I feel for the man who dared to steal the only hope she ever left me. Go to hell, Zhao Ziji. The blade screamed down through the air. Zhao Ziji realized with pure terror that Zhao Cheng's speed was still climbing, far surpassing his own reaction time. No, it's impossible. I can't keep up with this speed. What my sister left for me, Zhao Cheng gritted his teeth. No matter how much I had to suffer, I would never let scum like you take it away. A flawless arc of the sword descended. Zhao Ziji's blade shattered into a million pieces as the strike tore right through his body. Zhao Ziji, today I'm returning all the humiliation you gave me over these 3 years. Zhao Ziji's body was no longer in one piece. His head and torso were now separated, and fresh blood stained the ground crimson. Seeing their boss dead, the 2 remaining henchmen felt their courage shatter, immediately turning to flee for their lives. Run, run for it! Zhao Cheng turned, his cold gaze stabbing into their backs like daggers. You two had your fun bullying me, too. He hurled the sword in his hand, the blade spinning like a deadly top through the air. A deadly arc sliced through the air, piercing both thugs in a single, brutal instant. 3 years of waiting paid in full. That's our boy, Zhao Cheng. Lu Ziye shot him a thumbs up, eyes wide with pure admiration. But wait. Something was glinting from Zhao Ziji's pocket. Could that be a treasure? Zhao Cheng bent down and picked it up. A pearl bracelet, still stained with fresh blood. The moment he saw that bracelet, the smile on Lu Ziye's face evaporated, replaced by pure, utter horror. That's my mother's. The realization hit them both like a truck. We have to go, Lu Ziye panicked. They must have taken her to the management area. It was his mother's favorite pearl bracelet, something she would never, ever give away willingly. Mom, you have to be okay, Lu Ziye pleaded. Ziye, calm down, Zhao Cheng reassured him. Auntie Zhang is definitely still alive. Cheng, are you sure? Lu Ziye asked. He knew Zhao Cheng never made baseless claims. He must have his reasons. Lu Ziye tried to calm himself as his friend laid out the cold logic. Our settlement's population is sparse. Women are vital reproductive resources, Zhao Cheng explained, his voice devoid of any emotion. Besides, Auntie Zhang is a beautiful woman. Even if your father was captured, her life wouldn't be in immediate danger. Shut up, Lu Ziye snapped. That kind of analysis is just making things worse. Without another word, they raced through the crumbling ruins, heading for the management zone. Soon, they neared Management Room 226 in the West Kiang district. Lu Ziye, Zhao Cheng, a familiar voice called from the distance. It was Xiao Yu with a few other residents. Run! Something terrible has happened. Xiao Yu, what are you all doing here? Lu Ziye demanded. Your father, he led people to surround the management zone. They're fighting the administrators, Xiao Yu explained frantically. It looks like your father's side is losing. Zhao Jiji is coming to capture you both. Go now, before it's too late. What about my parents? Lu Ziye cried out. Ziye, your parents are heroes, a man interjected, his face filled with shame. We were too useless, too afraid to follow him. Manager Fan Dahuo and his lackeys, Jiang Kun and Zhao Jiji, they're all awakened. We're just normal people, we never stood a chance. Another resident chimed in. When old Lu heard you'd been taken to a dungeon, he rallied everyone to finally overthrow that monster. Fan Dahuo. But they're too strong. You have to run. You can't possibly fight them. My parents are in there. I am not running. Lu Ziye gritted his teeth. If I die with them. He then turned to Zhao Cheng. Cheng, you already killed Zhao Jiji. You should get out of here and go find your sister. There's nothing left for you in this place. Zhao Cheng just shook his head, his gaze unwavering. Your father always helped me. Your mother treated me like her own son. If I abandoned you now, what kind of person would I be? He looked directly into Lu Ziye's eyes. For 3 years, every time Zhao Jiji robbed me blind, it was your family who secretly gave me food. Without them, I would have starved long ago. Besides, do you really think Zhao Jiji would have acted so brazenly if Fan Dahuo wasn't pulling the strings from the shadows? This vendetta isn't just yours, it's mine, too. Lu Ziye's eyes turned red with emotion. Cheng. All right. We're brothers. We live or die together. The residents who overheard them were completely stunned by the revelation. What did he just say? Zhao Cheng killed Zhao Ziji? But he was a level 8, awakened. That quiet kid Zhao Cheng now radiated a terrifying aura. Maybe. It was actually true. Inside the management office, a voice boomed. Lu Fu, you've got some serious nerve. Fan Dahuo, a large, heavy-set man, sneered from his chair. You really thought you could challenge me with this pathetic group of nobodies? This was Fan Dahuo, level 10, manager of residential area 226. His attribute? Giant transformation. You killed my mother, dragged countless people into your mess, and now you've gone after my son. Lu Fu, Lu Ziye's father, roared, his entire body covered in injuries. It was your tyranny that forced me to rise up against you. If your son is dead, just make another one. What's the big deal? Fan Dahuo chuckled coldly. Your wife isn't bad looking though. If you get on your knees and beg, I might let you live. Of course, you'll have to leave her with me. In your dreams. I'd rather die than bow to a piece of filth like you, Lu Fu spat defiantly. With no mercy, Fan Dahuo slammed Auntie Zhang onto the floor. I was being generous, and you chose to be stupid? Hilarious, he sneered. You really think your death would stop me from having fun with your wife? What kind of man hits a woman? Lu Fu roared. Fair point, Fan Dahuo smirked. I'll kill you first, and then have my fun with her. I'm feeling generous, so I'll make it quick. With a flick of his fingers, 2 iron marbles shot forward with terrifying speed. Ah, Juan, don't cry. Lu Fu smiled at his wife one last time. In the next life, I will still be your husband. Clang! A sharp, metallic ring echoed through the room. A sword? Where did that come from? It intercepted both marbles, stopping their deadly trajectory cold. The blade then looped through the air and returned to its master's hand. Model. He stood there, his gaze like ice, his voice sounding like it came from hell itself. Pham Dai Ho, I'm here to take your lives. Every single eye in the room turned to him and Yazi. A goon sneered. Oh, look, it's just a couple of punks. How did you two even make it out of the instance dungeon alive? Uncle Lu, Yazi's father, turned pale with shock and fear. Zhao Cheng, why are you here too? Get out of here! Run! No, Dad. Yazi stood beside him, defiantly raising his slingshot. We can't go. Cheng and I are here to save everyone. Instantly, he activated his attribute, his eyes flashing with a golden light as he focused on his target. His voice was sharp, filled with raw hatred. You dare touch my parents. I'll take all of your lives. The projectile flew like a lightning bolt, aimed directly at Pham Dai Ho. The man barely tilted his head and dodged it. At the same time, a henchman next to him swung a sword, shattering the bullet as he sneered. Just because you awakened some powers, you think you're the god of this world? But the shattered bullet wasn't the end. A thick cloud of smoke suddenly billowed out, obscuring everyone's vision. A smoke grenade? It's a feint, a diversion. Don't let them rescue those other awakeners. From inside the smoke, he lunged out like a phantom, his blade aimed straight at the man who had just spoken. Your opponent is me. The man looked at him, his expression still smug and relaxed. To catch the bandits, you have to catch the king first. He thought that just by killing the leader, this would all be over. Want to be my opponent? You're not even qualified. But just as his blade was about to connect, another dark figure appeared, blocking his attack in a flash of movement. The force of the impact was so strong it knocked him back several steps, faster and stronger than Zhao Jiji. It was Jiang Kun, the most effective henchman, the ace that Pham Dai Ho always trusted. Level 9 Jiang Kun, title, Mad Dog. His attribute was golden, 3 men make a crowd. It split him into 2 clones, each possessing 70% of the original's power, all linked by one mind. In the entire residential area, his brutal reputation was even more terrifying than his boss, Pham Dai Ho. He was the one who carried out every crime, the blood-soaked blade of this tyrannical regime. Countless people had been crippled by him, countless lives ended by his sword. Everyone here had given him a gruesome nickname that fit perfectly, the Mad Dog. Because once he bit down on you, he was guaranteed to tear off a chunk of flesh. Their 2 swords clashed, sending sparks flying. I'm surprised you could block my attack. Who are you? Jiang Kun asked, narrowing his eyes. You don't need to know. His reply was cold. Because soon enough, you'll be just like Zhao Jiji, a corpse at my feet. The man just smirked. I know who you are. You're Zhao Cheng, the piece of trash who sold his own sister for an awakening stone. Zhao Jiji mentioned you. Too bad he couldn't find the stone you traded your sister's purity for. A storm of rage erupted in his chest. System notification. Activating flame enchantment, bronze. Activating critical headshot strike. The bronze sword in his hand erupted in angry flames. What's wrong? Angry now? Did I strike a nerve? The man continued to provoke him. He didn't say a word, simply lunging forward, turning his body into a flaming arrow. This kid! Jiang Kun was inwardly shocked as he parried the blow. The rhythm of his attacks hadn't changed at all, proving that the taunts weren't getting to him. In fact, now that he'd activated his ability, I was the one having trouble defending. For a kid of only 15 or 16, his mindset was dangerously mature. He absolutely couldn't be allowed to get any stronger. Jiang Kun roared, activating his own power. From his body, 2 other clones split off, both possessing 70% of the original's strength. Kill him. The 3 of them charged forward at once. So this is his ability? It's bizarre, he thought, parrying the blows while analyzing them. Just then, Yezi's voice rang out. Cheng, I saved my dad and the uncles. Hang in there, Yezi, he shouted back. Kill Pham Dai Ho first. Save Uncle Zhang and everyone else. I can handle this guy by myself. So your real goal was to rescue those awakeners, huh? Jiang Kun's voice dripped with mockery. But do you really think we're stupid enough to let you pull that off so easily? Cheng, this is bad. Yezi's voice turned to panic. My dad and the uncles are all coughing up blood. They've been poisoned. These bastards poisoned them. I knew it. He gritted his teeth. Pham Dai Ho burst out laughing, his face a mask of absolute triumph. Did you really think I'm some kind of idiot? I've seen plenty of so-called geniuses like you over the years. From the moment you two stepped into that dungeon, I predicted this would happen. Zhao Jiji was just a pawn to test your true strength. He turned to Jiang Kun. Kun, I told you that Zhao Kid had some skills. Do you believe me now? Tell your clone to come back. I have a few things to say to it. Yes, boss. One of Jiang Kun's clones disappeared as the main body walked toward Pham Dai Ho. Zhao Cheng, Pham Dai Ho looked at him. You're a decent man. The Liu family's business has nothing to do with you. Put down your weapon now. And from this day on, Zhao Jiji's position will be yours. This really has nothing to do with Cheng, Yazi thought. Our plan was to save Dad and the others to create a balance of power, but now they've just become a burden. Forcing Zhao Cheng to their side was just a death sentence for him anyway. Liu's son weakly grabbed Zie's hand, pleading with him not to drag Zhao Cheng into this mess. It was a Liu family problem. Father, I know what to do. Liu Zie turned to his friend, his eyes welling with tears. Zhao Cheng, put down your weapon. It's not worth dying for my family. You'll always be my brother. Lower your blade, it's the best choice you have. Jiang Kun just sneered. This kid was an apocalypse survivor. He knew exactly how to choose. If you want to live, you bow your head and become someone's dog. But Zhao Cheng just laughed, a laugh filled with pure contempt. Liu Zie, what the hell are you even saying? He roared. Betraying my brother, turning on a benefactor, that's something I, Zhao Cheng, could never do. He yelled that he was never taught to live like a dog. If he just killed every last one of these scumbags, they could all survive this. With that, he turned, his flaming blade pointing directly at Pham Dai Ho. Zie stared blankly at his friend's resolute back. So, he's just a damn fool, Pham Dai Ho growled. Let's just take him out together then. Jiang Kun stepped forward, his blade flashing. He promised Brother Hu he would personally take the guy's head as a souvenir. His eyes were filled with killing intent. This time, you're dead for sure. What a coincidence, Zhao Cheng shot back, a cold smirk playing on his lips. I was thinking the same thing. And instantly, he activated his custom-made skill, Explosive Head Strike. The skill's effect was a massive 300% power boost that lasted for 90 seconds. A wave of violent energy erupted from Zhao Cheng's body. He poured power into his legs, the ground cracking beneath him as he launched himself like a cannonball, straight for Jiang Kun. Feeling that sudden, violent surge of power, Jiang Kun was completely shocked and scrambled to raise his sword to defend himself. Clang! The shriek of steel on steel was deafening. Jiang Kun was thrown back several steps, his arms completely numb, unable to believe what just happened. How did this kid's power just triple? He was completely overwhelmed, utterly outmatched by this surge in raw strength. His mind raced frantically. Wasn't his special ability just the flame-wreathed sword? What was this? Was that all just a bluff? Was this insane power boost his real trump card all along? The cunning little bastard. Jiang Kun gritted his teeth. The kid had intentionally used a feint to deceive him, saving his real power for the perfect moment to land a finishing blow. But then he let out a grim laugh. He still had 2 clones for backup. Even with this power-up, the kid was no match for him. And right on cue, the 2 clones slashed at him from both sides. Caught in a pincer attack, Zhao Cheng was forced to leap into the air to evade. This clone ability was way too annoying, he cursed silently. If it was just one-on-one, this would be easy. Seeing Zhao Cheng helpless in midair, Jiang Kun's goons behind him saw their golden opportunity. They took aim, ready to shoot him down. He was a sitting duck up there, with no way to dodge. A volley of crossbow bolts shot through the air, aimed right at Zhao Cheng. He realized these guys weren't awakeners, but they were extremely well-trained enforcers for the people in charge. They were well-fed, their physical abilities way beyond any normal person. Swish, swish, Zhao Cheng managed to slice a few arrows out of the air, but moving and dodging while suspended like this was nearly impossible. One arrow grazed his shoulder, drawing blood. At this rate, he couldn't possibly block them all. That's it, hurry up, a man yelled. The crossbowman grew even more excited. Aim for his head, take out his eyes. Another wave of poison-tipped arrows flew as Zhao Cheng began to fall. Should he throw his blade to take out the 2 archers? No. If he did, Jiang Kun would close in, leaving him weaponless and totally vulnerable. But just then stones, flying out of nowhere at incredible speed, shattering the volley of arrows aimed right for him. Zhao Cheng recognized it instantly. It was Liu Zie. Zhao Cheng, you were right, he yelled. We kill them all, and we both get to live. Liu Zie's voice echoed from a distance. Seize the opportunity. These guys are covered in weak points. He then hurled several bags of powder, creating a massive dust cloud right in front of the crossbowman. Smoke bombs again? Jiang Kun was wary. No, something was wrong with this smoke. Wait a second, that bastard used lime powder. His eyes stung so bad he couldn't open them. Zhao Cheng cracked a small smile. Zie had awakened 6 months before him, and while he hadn't leveled up much, his cautious nature meant he always had tricks up his sleeve. He just never expected one to be this effective. While the enemies were blinded and in chaos, Jiang Kun's 2 shadow clones rushed straight toward him. Their speed wasn't great, definitely clones. Time to take one of them down first. He took a step back and swung his blade deep into the clone. But even with the massive wound, it didn't slow down one bit. Clones feel no pain. Just injuring it was useless. He had to neutralize it completely. With that thought, Zhao Cheng put everything into a horizontal slash, cutting the clone clean in two. The second it was destroyed, the real Jiang Kun suddenly trembled, his face going pale. He clutched his chest, gasping. Zhao Cheng, what did you do to my clone? And then, realization dawned on our hero. He figured it out instantly. Destroying a clone actually damages the real body. He couldn't stay put, he had to move, and he had to do it now. The targets were the henchmen, their eyes still stinging. Zhao Cheng was right there, he had to aim true. But it was too late. His power-up was about to expire. Zhao Cheng charged into the mob, swinging his blade without a hint of mercy. For all the years you've served the wicked, I'll settle the score today. Finally, I've got you. Jiang Kun suddenly appeared, blocking the kid's path. There is absolutely no escape for you this time. He thought to himself that one clone was already destroyed, and he couldn't summon another until the cooldown ended. He had to kill him here, or he'd be the one to die. His other clone lunged from behind. Without even turning, Zhao Cheng unleashed a lightning kick that sent it flying. At the same moment, the violent energy inside his body completely vanished. Jiang Kun just grinned triumphantly. Your strength-boosting attribute has a time limit, doesn't it? I can see the power in your blade has already faded. An Awakener below level 10 only has a single attribute. Now, I'd like to see what you'll use to block my next attack. He poured all his strength into a single level 9 strike. Let's see you block this. Victory is definitely mine. But Zhao Cheng just gave him an ice-cold stare as an even more terrifying aura began to rise from within him. He activated his second skill, Self-Developed Heart Shattering Slash. Its effect? A 450% power boost for 3 minutes. A storm of violent energy erupted from Zhao Cheng's body, channeling directly into his sword. Crack! Jiang Kun's sword shattered like glass. He stared in horror as the fragments rained down. How could this be? His power was even more monstrous than before. My turn now. Let's see if you can block this one. Zhao Cheng's voice was like ice, echoing across the battlefield. He channeled all his might, unleashing a single finishing blow. The blade drew a perfect arc, slicing through Jiang Kun's real body and all his phantom clones. It seems you couldn't block it after all. A crimson mist of blood exploded in a gruesome display. As the dust settled, only a mangled corpse remained. Lu Fu, Ye Zi's father, coughed hard, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. He actually did it. When did that kid grow up to be this strong? Boss, one of his men whispered, your juniors are incredible. Maybe we'll actually be saved today. Amidst the scene, Fan Dehuo sat perched on a chair, clapping sarcastically. Not bad. So you even managed to kill Jiang Kun, huh? Zhao Cheng walked slowly toward him, his blood-soaked sword dragging on the ground, leaving a horrifying trail. Next, it's your turn. He spoke each word like a death sentence. For all the crimes you've committed in this residential area over the years, it's time to pay the price. Crimes! Fan Dehuo burst out laughing. After that old geezer died, I became the manager here. Sure, plenty of people died, but plenty of new people moved in too. If you think about it, I'm a hero to this slum, aren't I? He furiously kicked An Zhang, who was lying unconscious on the ground. Besides, if it weren't for my fearsome reputation, this woman would have been snatched by dogs from other areas long ago. Fan Dehuo, you scum, don't you dare touch my mother, Lu Ziye roared, raising his slingshot and firing an energy-laced stone straight at Fan Dehuo's head. Thwack! He effortlessly caught the stone with his bare hand. Trying to blow my head off? With your pathetic little scratches, you're not even close to qualified. Lu Ziye was stunned. He caught his stone barehanded, a shot infused with an effect that exposes weak points, something even a holy sun would struggle to block. And yet, he blocked it. Fan Dehuo sneered. Let me teach you a little lesson. Let me show you what real power is. He threw the stone back. It flew like a bullet, its raw power tearing through the air with a piercing whistle. In that split second, Zhao Cheng appeared, shattering the stone with his sword. Ye Zi, use a smoke grenade to blind him. He's a level 10 Awakener or higher. To win, we have to use every trick we've got. Lu Ziye quickly loaded a smoke grenade, but before he could fire, a massive shadow descended upon him. Fan Dehuo's target was Lu Ziye. He slammed his head into the ground with one hand, cracking the concrete pavement beneath. How can I let a pest like you interfere with a duel between the strong? Ye Zi, horrified, Zhao Cheng instantly rushed forward, slashing at Fan Dehuo's back, but the giant simply turned, blocking the blade with one hand. Clang! Zhao Cheng felt a terrifying shockwave travel up his arm, making it tremble uncontrollably. His strength is unbelievable. So this is why Jiang was killed so easily. But my level can't be higher than 8. Is this truly the difference in levels? His strength surpasses even that boar boss. This is the complete physical transformation that happens after level 10. You've killed Jiang and Zhao Zhiji. Shouldn't your anger be settled by now? Fan Dehuo suddenly made an offer. Join me, and I'll make you my equal. In just a few more days, I'll give you a life you've never even dared to dream of. Absolutely not, Zhao Cheng screamed right in his face. How many people did you kill? The population may be the same, but the newcomers are all scum just like you. They're your dogs oppressing, stealing, committing every evil. I will never, ever sink to your disgusting level. Trying to play the hero? Fan Dehao just scoffs. Fine by me, I'll be happy to send you to your grave. An incredible pressure explodes from his body. The apocalypse isn't a game, kid. It's cruel. Without my iron-fisted rule, this entire settlement would have been devoured by others a long time ago. He activates giant body transformation, a gold-tier attribute. His health and defense spike by 50% as his body swells to monstrous size. His muscles bulge like solid steel. And that's just his first attribute? Unbelievable. Gritting his teeth, Zhao Cheng activates Flame-Binding Demon, and his own sword instantly erupts in fire. I protect you, useless weaklings, and all you have to do is pay up with some supplies. It's a fair deal, Fan Dehao roars, as a painful memory flashes in his mind. Dad, you're hurt again from fighting the bad guys. It's not a wound, son. It's a medal for protecting everyone. His father was the settlement's hero, but all he remembers is that hero dying, covered in wounds, on a hospital bed. A hero? He laughs, the sound full of bitterness. A hero who died a miserable death right in front of him. What a joke. No rewards, just a bunch of meaningless thank yous. That wasn't a medal, it was a mark of stupidity. Only an idiot like my father would protect a bunch of freeloaders, wanting to be their hero. So you want to be a hero too? He lunges toward Zhao Cheng, his massive, stone-like fist crashing down with incredible force. I hate self-righteous heroes like you more than anything. Go be a hero in hell. Zhao Cheng crosses his arms, bracing for the impact. Bam! The strength is the same. It seems his first attribute only boosts his defense, not his power. Zhao Cheng thinks fast. If that's the case, it's time to go all out. He activates Reset New Star, a silver-tier attribute that instantly resets all his skill cooldowns. Fan Dehao, you're not the only one with powerful skills. He activates Autonomous Research 1, Effect 2. His strength skyrockets by 300% for 1 minute and 30 seconds. An energy even more terrifying than before erupts from Zhao Cheng's body. Fan Dehao feels the immense pressure as his giant body is forced back, his feet carving deep trenches in the ground. This kid can get even stronger? He's stunned. Is that a burst-type skill? There's no holding back now. To beat a monster like Fan Dehao, he has to go all out from the start, giving him no room to breathe. A violent energy explodes from his chest as the system announces the activation of Autonomous Research 2. Effect 2, a 450% power boost for 3 minutes. Pure, overwhelming strength courses through his veins. With a deafening roar, he brings his sword down in a devastating arc, the force so immense it brings the giant Fan Dehao crashing to his knees. What is this? Fan Dehao is terrified. How did his power just explode like that? Even my hands are numb from the shockwave of that single strike. Zhao Cheng gives him no time to recover, unleashing a relentless storm of fiery slashes. The look in Fan Dehao's eyes says it all. Pure, unfiltered fear. Something's wrong. This kid is not normal. This can't be the power of a regular attribute. Otherwise, there's no way I can't block a single hit from a guy who's not even level 8. And this fire, why won't it go out? It has to be some kind of dark magic. He realizes that if this keeps up, he's the one who's going to die. He needs another plan. His cunning eyes dart over to Ye Zi. There's his target. Zhao Cheng, you should never have underestimated me. Fan Dehao lets out a savage roar, activating his second attribute. It's martial prowess, another gold-tier skill. But it only raises his strength by 30%. In terms of quality, Zhao Cheng's skills are clearly superior. Seizing the chance, he rushes forward like a blazing tornado, aiming straight for Fan Dehao's old wound. But Fan Dehao grits his teeth, a ruthless glint in his eye. This is it. I'll take the hit if it means I get one shot. He makes no move to defend himself. Zhao Cheng's blade sinks deep into his shoulder, but in that exact same moment, he uses the force of the blow to escape, lunging toward Ye Zi like a wounded beast. Not good. He took the hit on purpose to get away. His real target is Ye Zi. Fan Dehao's free arm wraps around Ye Zi's neck, squeezing tight. He pants, exhausted. If I hadn't sacrificed my own arm, you never would have fallen for my trap. Zhao Cheng, drop your sword, or I will snap his neck right now. Fan Dahao, you're even more despicable than I thought. He roars, the fury inside him burning hotter than the flames on his blade. Despicable? Fan Dahao sneers, his face twisted in pain. In this broken world, the only thing that matters is survival. Now drop the sword, or I'll crush his throat. Zhao Cheng freezes, his mind racing. If he drops the sword and his power-up expires, he's a dead man. But if he doesn't throw it down, Ye dies. What could he possibly do? Just then, Yezi's father, Uncle Lu, clutched his wound and growled, Fan Dahao, do you know why we finally fought back after all these years of your abuse? Indebted to my father? Fan Dahao roared. That's right, Uncle Lu said, his voice filled with reverence. He was the hero of this entire settlement. Years ago, he sacrificed his own life to stop a tragedy, protecting them all from the raids of District 119. And you're his son, so we gritted our teeth and endured it all, even as you bled us dry, because we once believed that one day you would change, that you would become a hero, just like your father. But a year ago, Uncle Lu's voice dropped. I overheard you. The boss was planning to move to District 119 to be a deputy manager. This hellhole? Just squeeze him dry and leave him for dead. When we get there, we'll eat all the meat we want. District 119 even has a pig farm. Are you really abandoning this place to become a dog for the man who killed your own father? Uncle Lu screamed. The people from District 119 beat your mother so badly she never recovered. Have you forgotten that? Shut up, Fan Dahao roared like a wild animal. That was the price he paid. In this apocalypse, being a hero is a death sentence. I won't be like that old fool, buried my whole life in this miserable place. If I submit to them, a much bigger world opens up for me. His crazed eyes then locked onto Zhao Cheng. Zhao Cheng, I'm counting to 3. If you don't drop your weapon, start planning your friend's funeral. 1, 2. Zhao Cheng gritted his teeth, his heart caught in a vice. But just as the word 3 was about to leave his lips, the roar of engines echoed from the distance. Trucks from District 119 were approaching. Fan Dahao was ecstatic. It's the trucks from District 119. They're here to get me. Zhao Cheng, you are so dead. He screamed, Men of 119, Fan Dahao is over here. Help me put down this rebellion. The truck screeched to a halt as heavily armed men poured out. The tables had completely turned. With Ye still in his grasp, how could Zhao Cheng possibly break this stalemate? He could retreat, live to fight another day. But if he did, Ye, Uncle Lu, everyone here would surely be killed. He couldn't just abandon them. So what if you're a good fighter, Zhao Cheng? Fan Dahao gloated. Now, my people outnumber you, you're finished. A man stepped out from the lead vehicle. This was Jiang Wei, the current manager of District 119. Hey, Baldy. Are you the one who was just calling for me? Huh? Manager Jiang. Fan Dahao's attitude shifted instantly. He shoved Ye aside and ran over, practically groveling. I never thought you'd come in person. This is a tremendous honor. Zhao Cheng rushed over to check on Ye. Thank God he was still breathing. This was the manager of District 119. His presence felt stronger than Fan Dahao's, maybe even stronger than the Red Demon boss. With his current strength, Zhao Cheng stood absolutely no chance. Hey Baldy, don't get so friendly, Jiang Wei said coldly. I'm looking for someone. If you don't answer, I'll crush your skull. Yes, of course, Manager Jiang. It was strange though. Why didn't he seem to recognize Zhao Cheng? The Lei brothers had clearly said they'd mentioned him to Jiang Wei before. Jiang Wei scanned the crowd, his voice completely void of emotion. Is there anyone here by the name of Zhao Cheng? Fan Dahao saw his golden opportunity. He pointed a finger straight at Zhao Cheng and yelled, Manager Jiang, that's him. That brat is starting a rebellion, openly defying the company's authority. The more he spoke, the more certain he was that his luck had turned. He was sure of it. Manager Jiang was here to help him. Zhao Cheng was a dead man. Jiang Wei took a long drag from his cigarette, the smoke hiding his expression. Zhao Cheng is leading a rebellion? He repeated, his tone flat. Is he trying to take over this settlement? Yes, that's him, Fan Dahao confirmed eagerly. Jiang Wei's razor-sharp gaze finally shifted to Zhao Cheng. You're Zhao Cheng? I am. Zhao Cheng's reply was short, his hand gripping his weapon, ready for a fight to the death. Jiang Wei turned back to Fan Dahao, his eyes filled with contempt. As I recall, to become a manager, you have to be at least a level 1 awakened. And yet some kid who still smells of milk managed to chop off your arm. Manager Jiang, you don't understand. Before Fan Dahao could finish, a single dry gunshot rang out. Jiang Wei held a smoking gun. You've outlived your usefulness. Fan Dahao's body collapsed to the ground, stunning everyone into silence. Was he just here to clean up the territory and decided Fan Dahao was part of the mess? Zhao Cheng and Uncle Lu tensed up at the same time. The next target was definitely going to be them. As if reading their minds, Jiang Wei casually handed his gun to a subordinate. Don't be so tense. A big shot from up top issued an urgent order. He paused, looking directly into Zhao Cheng's eyes. An order for all managers of the neighboring settlements to immediately provide reinforcements for a person named Zhao Cheng in settlement number 226. Jiang Wei concluded, I'm here to help you. How can I trust you? Zhao Cheng still didn't let his guard down. Kid, you're a cautious one. Jiang Yi smirked, but the messenger simply said, You'll believe me when you see this. He then revealed a familiar boss-sensing compass. That's Guan Shui's sensor needle. Zhao Cheng was stunned she was the one who sent help. Just how powerful was Guan Shui's background anyway? He always knew she wasn't simple, but to command the manager of a major shelter like number 119? And there was more. Jiang Yi added that the big shot had sent a few gifts. At his signal, his men began hauling down massive sacks of supplies. Zhao Cheng and the others were completely stunned. It was supplies, not just grain, but meat, salt, dried fish, and flour. Absolute luxuries in the post-apocalyptic world. Jiang Yi then produced a document and a seal. This is the management certificate for Residential Area 226. That bald guy from before was just a self-proclaimed tyrant. Without this, the company doesn't recognize him. But now, if you accept it, you will be the legal manager of this place. Zhao Cheng stared at the certificate, a storm of emotions raging inside him. Uncle Lu had risked his own life, almost destroying his entire family, all for the chance to gain this very authority. And now, here it was, being handed to him so easily. Lu Fu, despite his serious injuries, managed to speak up. Zhao Cheng, take it, son. Right now, you're the most suitable person for the job. Zhao Cheng accepted the certificate, vowing to himself, I owe Guan Shui a massive debt for this. I will find a way to repay her someday. Jiang Yi gave an order, medical team, get in there and save the wounded. He then added, that powerful figure has one more gift for you, but accepting it is entirely your choice. What is it? Come with me to Residential Area 119 and take part in a test. If you pass, you'll have the opportunity to join the Fantian Company. The name Fantian struck everyone there like a clap of thunder. They were the saviors who rescued the eastern continent 1,000 years ago after the apocalypse, and now, they were the absolute rulers of this land. Every residential area, every inch of soil, and every single life fell under their control. For normal people, joining Fantian was like ascending to the heavens. It was the highest possible honor. Food, shelter, and security. Not to mention precious medicines and items to help the awakened level up all things outsiders would never dare to dream of. The choice is yours, Jiang Yi gave his ultimatum. Stay here as the manager of Area 226, or come with me to Area 119 and seize a life-changing opportunity. His sister had been taken away by the company's people. To find his sister, Zhao Cheng knew he had to get inside that company. This was a golden opportunity, but he looked around at the bewildered faces of the survivors, at the injured who still needed care. This place had just endured a war, and the people were on edge. They needed a leader to step up. Seeing him hesitate, Jiang Yi seemed to understand. All right, I will wait here for you for 2 days. Thank you. Zhao Cheng nodded slightly. As Jiang Yi turned to leave, he couldn't help but wonder how such an ordinary-looking kid, with nothing remarkable about him, could be connected to such a powerful figure. It made absolutely no sense. But whatever, he was getting the credit for providing this support. As long as he maintained a good relationship with this kid, his own career path in the company was sure to be bright. After everyone's wounds were treated, Lu Fu gathered the residents together. Zhao Cheng defeated the tyrants Fan Dahao and Jiang Kun, and he's been officially recognized. We all nominate him. Uncle Lu, Zhao Cheng interrupted. The most suitable person to be the manager of this shelter is you. But someone countered, Zhao Cheng, the shelter needs a strong protector. I have to find my sister. Zhao Cheng explained to the crowd. I can't stay here forever, he continued. Uncle Lu and the others in the Lu family are all awakened. They have more than enough power to protect this place. The room instantly broke into murmurs. Zhao Cheng's nomination was like a stone tossed into a still pond, sending ripples of thought through the crowd. Zhao Cheng had a point. In terms of age, experience, and general wisdom, Lu Fu was a much better fit than Zhao Cheng himself. Besides, his two brothers were also awakened ones, more than capable of shouldering the responsibility of protecting the shelter. That's right, another person added. Lu Fu is kind and always puts everyone else first. He really is the most suitable candidate for manager. Amid the chatter, Lu Fu quietly shook his head, his eyes heavy with concern. But if I gain power, Who can guarantee that I won't become a second Fan Hao? His question silenced everyone. Well, one man stammered. Fan Hao's father was once a hero in this shelter, but Fan Hao himself became a tyrant. Nobody can truly predict what a person might become in the future. The time has come, one of Lu Fu's brothers spoke, taking out a stack of yellowed papers. Brother Fu, your son loves to read books. In those books, it says that the ancients used laws to rule their nations. I think we can do the same. He held the papers high. These are the 15 laws my brothers and I secretly drafted before we decided to make our move. From this day forward, everyone would live by these 15 new rules, updated each year to fit their new reality. Laws? Were they really more useful than a single, powerful manager? Lu Fu insisted that if everyone had to follow the same code, it was far better than just blindly obeying one man's orders. Zhao Cheng stood in a corner, filled with silent admiration. Uncle Lu had clearly prepared for this day. He was educated, and Yazi could read too. They were way better with their minds than he was. He could finally leave this place in their hands and go find his sister. He gently placed the manager card he'd just won on the table, setting down the heavy burden that came with it. While the others were lost in discussion about a brand new future, he quietly turned and walked right out of the room. From now on, there would be no friends like Yazi beside him, just a long, lonely road ahead. Hey! A familiar voice called out from behind. Liu Zia had caught up to him, leaving without a single word. Do you even consider me a brother? Cheng Zi, without me watching your back, you'll fall into 1,000 traps. I really can't let you go alone. Yazi? Zhao Cheng asked, completely surprised. You came to see me off? See you off? Liu Zia scoffed. I'm coming with you. Don't even think about becoming some great hero all by yourself. What about your parents? Did they actually let you go? Of course, they didn't. He scratched his head. That's why I had to sneak out. But don't worry. I left a letter promising to visit once I'm famous, and I told them I'd marry Xiao Yu the moment I came back a success. Zhao Cheng told him to hurry back before his father got worried, but Liu Zia just gripped his sleeve, his eyes burning with fire. Cheng Zi, the old legends say a great eagle rises with the wind to soar 90,000 miles. You're that eagle, and I want to fly just as high. This world is massive, and I, Liu Zia, refuse to live an insignificant life. The storm an eagle like you kicks up has lit a fire right here in my heart. Zhao Cheng was stunned, never expecting his goofy friend to say something so profound. Fine, but if it gets too hard, just go home. No one's gonna blame you. Oh, I'm pretty sure you'll be the one crying to go home first. And with that, Zhao Cheng finally cracked a smile. Watching the two boys laugh, Manager Jiang stood at the door and lit a cigarette, smoke curling around him. Looked like a storm was brewing. The convoy rolled out of residential area 226, continuing its journey. Those two brothers have some real skill, huh? The driver started talking. I've driven in Area 119 for years, but this is my first time on a mission with Manager Jiang. It's obvious Manager Jiang thinks highly of you too. As the settlement disappeared behind the ruins, Zhao Cheng saw Liu Zia looking back, his eyes full of longing. He was different from him, after all. He still had ties to that place. To get his friend's mind off it, Zhao Cheng turned to the driver. Actually, I've always had a question, if you don't mind me asking. The driver replied cheerfully. Ask away, kid. I'll tell you anything I know. Did your manager of Area 119 really kill the old manager of our Area 226? The question silenced them all. Both the driver and Liu Zia froze. Oh my god, Cheng Zi! Liu Zia screamed internally. Talk about a heavy topic. He'd just killed the entire conversation. How could he be so completely clueless in these moments? Ah, that, the driver said, scratching his head. Actually, our manager Jiang wasn't the one who did that. He became our manager 5 or 6 years ago, after killing the previous manager of our own area, 119. As for your manager, he was probably killed by our old boss. No way, Liu Zia thought. This guy is too honest for his own good. Compared to our old manager, who was crazy about expanding his territory, the driver went on, our manager Jiang is focused on building from within. Thanks to him, Area 119 went from starving to having meat once a month. Because of that, every single person there respects him. So that's how it worked. Zhao Cheng's takeaway was brutally simple. So, you just have to kill the current manager to become the new one? I just gave that whole speech and that's your takeaway? The driver asked, completely baffled. Cheng Zi, you missed the entire point. Liu Zia facepalmed. Suddenly, Zhao Cheng sniffed the air. A thick, bloody stench on the wind. Mutated beasts were here. On the hills all around them, dark figures appeared, their growls echoing. They'd heard the engine, and now all their attention was on the convoy. Mutated wolves again? Liu Zia muttered. No, Zhao Cheng corrected. Those are mutated dogs. Mutated wolves are way bigger, and they're not dumb enough to charge head-on like this. They're definitely dogs. Cheng Zi, you really know your stuff. A few had already jumped onto the truck. Stay calm, the driver said coolly. We ran into them on the way here. Manager Jiang is a whole lot stronger than you think. Cover your ears, Jiang Yi said slowly from the back. Yes, boss. He then took a deep breath, his chest swelling before unleashing an earth-shattering roar. He activated his golden attribute skill, Beast King's Roar. Get lost. An invisible shockwave blasted out, launching the mutated dogs dozens of meters into the air. A soundwave ability? Zhao Cheng watched in absolute shock. This guy's seriously strong, the driver added proudly. See? Told you so. The pack of mindless dogs was already scattering. Dogs will be dogs. Mutation can't change their true nature. Bai Rong, deputy manager of Area 119, watched Zhao Cheng and Ye Zi walk away, his gaze thoughtful. Boss, with your kind of power, dealing with those dogs was basically child's play, right? Jiang Wei just scoffed. Boss, that guy, Zhao Cheng. He's a VIP guest of someone important. Bai Rong reminded him cautiously. What you just did back there. It was pretty provocative, you know. You could have controlled the sonic blast with a little more finesse. So what? Jiang Wei snarled, annoyance flashing in his eyes. He's just some pretty boy living off a sponsor. You think he'd dare snitch? I fought and bled for everything I have. I despise scum who only take shortcuts. No buts about it. Jiang Wei cut him off. I know how to act in public. Behind closed doors, you don't manage me. I want to climb higher, but that doesn't mean I'll grovel for every little thing. As long as I'm useful to them, the big shots will look the other way on petty stuff like this. Before long, the convoy rolled into residential area 119, a place far more bustling and organized. The guards immediately snapped to attention. Manager Jiang, welcome back. You've had a long day. Bai Rong led them to a temporary housing block. All the apartments are occupied. You two will have to rough it here for now. The room was Spartan, coated in a thick layer of dust. Ye Zi glanced around and chuckled. Well, it's better than your drafty old cave. At least it keeps out the wind. Look this over tonight, Bai Rong said, handing them a folder with some documents. It's the test guide from the company. Just a heads up, you're not the only ones participating. There will be plenty of others. Ye Zi grabbed it, delighted. Awesome, that's great. But while he was busy examining the papers, Zhao Cheng had already flopped onto the rock-hard bed without a word. Bai Rong was secretly amazed. This guy didn't seem to mind their shoddy welcome at all. How could anyone just lie down on a bed like that? Is he really some big shots kept man? Call if you need anything. Someone's posted outside. All right, thanks for the trouble. The second the door shut, Ye Zi leaned in close to Zhao Cheng. Hey, Cheng Zi, he whispered. It says the test is clearing a white rank dungeon. Sounds simple enough. An M-level limit probably means it's just a bit tougher than our last one. Does it say how many are joining, or how many they'll pick? Zhao Cheng asked, his eyes still closed. It doesn't say. Then the challenge has 2 goals, he analyzed slowly. 1. Kill the boss. 2. Survive. Ye Zi flinched. You mean, none of the other participants are going to accept failure. Teaming up to kill the boss is inevitable. But what happens next? Once the boss goes down, the strongest fighters will be exhausted. That's the perfect opening for scavengers to strike. That word, scavengers, suddenly made him think of what Guan Shui had said. Why was he suddenly thinking about her? Hey, Cheng Zi. Ye Zi nudged him, grinning mischievously. I can tell by that look on your face, you're getting lovesick. Missing that girl, huh? Get some sleep. We've got a big day tomorrow. What are you talking about? A guy your age falls in love easily. You gotta keep it in check. That girl is not in our league, man. Shut up and go to sleep. All right, I'm sleeping. Once we pass this test and join the company, we'll be somebody too. Meanwhile, in another part of the district, Bai Rong was reporting to Jiang Wei. He didn't show any disgust at all. But we can't rule out that he's just good at hiding his feelings. It doesn't prove anything. Jiang Wei took a sip of his drink. The company's proctor arrives tomorrow. If that kid's really got something, let's see him prove it. Boss, why are you so fixated on this kid, Zhao? Jiang Wei grew quiet, his gaze lost in the distance. I see myself in him. When I was young. Same talent. Same fate of being held down by others. The same desperate struggle to fight back. Only difference is, he's got a powerful backer, and I had nobody. Maybe. I'm just a little bit jealous of the kid. The next morning, hundreds of people were already gathered at the White Rank dungeon entrance. The air was buzzing with energy. Look at all these guards. Area 119 is no joke, Ye Zi remarked. Awakening stones are a treasure back home, but in a place like this, they're not so rare. What's truly rare is being able to clear dungeons consistently. Jiang Wei stepped forward, his powerful voice booming over the crowd. Survive this dungeon, and you'll earn the right to join the company. I don't need to spell out the benefits. You all know what's at stake. Good luck. Hey, Cheng Zi, Ye Zi whispered, that Jiang guy is staring right at us. It's a challenge, Zhao Cheng replied, his face completely blank. The others were already pushing and shoving their way inside. Hurry! Every monster kill means more experience. A provocation? Why would he do that? Lu Zai was baffled, but he had a feeling he was about to get his answer. Unseen on a nearby rooftop, two shadowy figures were watching the entire scene unfold. My lady, please stay out of sight. Your father will not be pleased. I know, she replied. I'm an examiner for this test, just scouting the situation beforehand. Inside the instance was a damp cave, thick with a corrosive, sinister energy that clung to everything. Stop wasting time, just pick a tunnel and go, someone yelled. Cheng Zi, which way do we go? Liu Ziye asked. Just then, a familiar voice called out. Finally, I found you two. Talk about fate. Big bro driver, what are you doing here? This test. Even people from District 119 can join. I had to take the risk for my wife and kids. He gave a friendly smile. How about we team up? Having backup is always better. Zhao Cheng and Liu Ziye exchanged a look, a silent conversation passing between them in an instant. Finally, Zhao Cheng nodded. Liu Ziye secretly grinned. Perfect, Cheng Zi gets it. He's definitely going to turn the driver down. But Zhao Cheng did the complete opposite of what he expected. He looked at the driver, his voice dead serious. You can join us, but on one condition. 200 item vouchers. Huh? Liu Ziye was completely stunned. Dude, that is not what I meant. No problem. The driver shot back instantly, his face lighting up with joy. 200 is 200. I made 800 just from driving for Jiangguan and Liangsheng. Fine then, Liu Ziye said, deciding to just roll with it. From now on, we're a crew. He's the boss, and you can be number 3. Got it, got it. Haha, a crew, the driver said, nodding happily. A crew? That sounds kinda weird, Zhao Cheng thought to himself. Not far off, a girl watched them in silence. That one's aura, it was totally different. The girl, Hua Xiaoman, muttered to herself, my ability can smell it. I never expected him to possess such a powerful, corrosive attribute. She clenched her fists, her mind torn by an internal debate. If she joined their group, her chances of survival would skyrocket, but she was terrible at talking to guys she didn't know. Everyone at the shelter is waiting for me to get back. I can't die here. Hua Xiaoman, you have to be strong. Meanwhile, Liu Ziye was still going on and on. This dungeon has a ton of side paths. If you charge in blind, you'll run right into a high-level monster. It appeared not too long ago. I heard from some important people that it's insanely dangerous inside. He smacked his lips, putting on the air of a veteran. The deeper you go, the harder it is to see. In a place like this, you can only fight head-on, a perfect dungeon for my style. See it, fight it. The driver, Zhang Dahua, just scratched his head in awe. Little brother, you're amazing. Ziye can only scare people who don't really know him. Zhao Cheng shook his head internally. Suddenly, he stopped. Something's coming. Did he see me? Hua Xiaoman's heart pounded in her chest. Should I reveal myself now? What if they think I'm an enemy? What would I even say? But just as she was panicking, the ground and the cavern walls began to shake violently. A swarm of giant rats with claws like steel erupted from the ground, their levels ranging from 6 to 8. Oh, he meant them. Hua Xiaoman let out a small sigh of relief. Levels 6, 7, and 8, Zhao Cheng snapped out his orders. Ziye, brother driver, you two take the weaker ones. The biggest one is mine. Just hold them off, and I'll back you up when I'm done. Right. Liu Ziye hesitated. But Cheng Zi, our levels are way lower. If you get held up by the level 8, we're dead for sure. Then what's your plan? The driver asked anxiously. That's the look. Liu Ziye cleared his throat, suddenly acting like a master strategist. It is time for Liu Ziye to shine. An ancient text speaks of a strategy called Tianji's horse race. We will use our inferior horse to pin down the enemy's superior horse. Then, our superior horse will crush their weaker ones and return to help finish the fight. The driver looked completely lost. Inferior horse, superior horse, so many horses. Wait, little brother, how can we tell the difference? It's based on level, obviously. High level is the superior horse, low level is the inferior one. Zhang Dahua looked at Liu Ziye, stifling a laugh. So, are you our inferior horse? At that exact moment, the massive level 8 rat let out a ferocious roar and charged. Liu Ziye went pale and swallowed hard. You fight it. I can't take it on. Let's just do what Changzi said. All 3 rats charged simultaneously. A level 8 monster right off the bat. This dungeon was way more dangerous than the last one. Brother driver, protect me, Zhao Cheng commanded. I'll aim for their eyes, Lu Ziye yelled out. The 2 smaller rats lunged, but Lu Ziye was quick. He shot 2 stones straight into their eyes, making them stagger back. Kid, nice shot, Zhang Dahua yelled. Follow me, we need to make some space. As he ran, Lu Ziye thought to himself, I can't be a burden to Chengzi anymore. I have to use my own strengths to control this battle. Meanwhile, Zhao Cheng was facing off against the level 8 rat, and the creature could already sense the danger radiating from him. It roared, activating its earth attribute. Suddenly, its defense, damage, and speed all surged by 15%. So that was its power. But Zhao Cheng didn't even flinch, activating his own flame enchantment. A deathmatch? Perfect. That's exactly what he wanted. Swoosh! A single blazing strike sliced right down, cutting the giant rat in 2. His 2 custom attributes had pushed his body far beyond its level. Monsters of this caliber were no longer a match for him. A notification screen popped up. You have slain the level 8 Steelclaw rat. Absolute leadership activated. Experience gained increased by 75%. Zhao Cheng was level 7, at 34% experience. Lu Ziye's level was still low. He had to get back and help them. As Zhao Cheng turned, he saw the strangest sight. Hey driver, keep going, don't stop. Lu Ziye was shouting, perched right on Zhang Dahua's shoulder. They were holding up better than he expected. But then, Zhao Cheng realized something was seriously off. The speed of those other 2 rats was all wrong. Compared to the one he'd just killed, they were at least 30% slower. The level difference wasn't that big, so their speed shouldn't be so different. He squinted, and saw their noses were wrinkled up in disgust. Could it be? Was someone secretly using an ability to interfere with their sense of smell? Whoever was hiding was clearly helping them, so they probably weren't an enemy. Yeah, try and catch me now, eat my rocks, Lu Ziye's voice echoed out. Zhao Cheng figured he would find this person after dealing with the last 2 rats. Lu Ziye kept firing his slingshot, sending energy-wrapped stones flying like meteors, hitting both giant rats precisely in their eyes. Zing! Not bad, little brother, your aim is seriously on point. Well, this young master did awaken a golden attribute. Lu Ziye puffed out his chest with a smug look. These tiny little rats are nothing to worry about. But after taking the hits, the 2 monster rats seemed to be communicating in their own strange, squeaking language. This hurts. He's going to kill us. We have to use that move. Suddenly, they stopped dead. Weird. Why did they stop chasing? Lu Ziye was baffled. A second later, the 2 rats began digging frantically, their massive bodies quickly disappearing underground. Oh no! Zhang Dahua screamed. They're planning an underground attack. What? Old man, hit the gas. They're setting up a sneak attack, Lu Ziye urged. A sneak attack? Right, I'm speeding up. Zhang Dahua floored it, but a massive shadow erupted from the ground right ahead. It was about to crash down. Damn it, there's no time. While everyone was frozen in terror at the monster above, the ground beneath the car began to shake violently. Another one was coming up. We're done for. Zhang Dahua's face went completely pale. My eggs. My wife is going to absolutely murder me. From afar, Hua Xiaoman witnessed the terrifying scene. This is bad. I have to use my full strength to help them. She closed her eyes, focusing all her energy to activate her golden attribute, olfactory manipulation. An invisible wave of an indescribably horrible odor suddenly washed over the 2 monster rats. They froze on the spot, paws clutching their noses as their bodies convulsed. It stinks. Just then, a figure blurred past like a bolt of lightning. Zhao Cheng had arrived. Seizing the golden opportunity, he swung his blade, a clean arc slicing the airborne rat in 2. Headshot critical strike activated. Effect 1. Double experience gained. You gain another 75% experience, for a total of 85%. 3 monsters down and still no level up, he thought. The higher the level, the harder it gets. Zhao Cheng mused to himself. Big brother. Zhang Dahua ran over, tears streaming down his face as he hugged Zhao Cheng's leg. You came. From now on, you're my big bro. You saved my family's future happiness. It was only by a hair's breadth. Lu Ziye just watched the huge man sob his heart out, shaking his head in total disbelief. Absolutely pathetic. Just then, a brilliant light enveloped Lu Ziye's body. Whoa, Chengzi. I leveled up. I'm level 5. Zhao Cheng didn't respond. Instead, he turned toward a nearby bush and called out loudly. Friend, thank you for your assistance. You can show yourself now. Wait, there's someone else here? Lu Ziye looked completely lost. From the thicket, Hua Xiaoman stepped out, looking a little nervous. Well now, a pretty lady, Lu Ziye whistled. Ahem, actually, this young master noticed her a long time ago. You saw her too? Zhang Dahua asked doubtfully. You look just as clueless as me a second ago. No need to be tense, Zhao Cheng told the girl. You helped us, so you're clearly not an enemy. For what just happened, consider us in your debt. Wait a minute, this young lady helped us? Zhang Dahua was still confused. When those two monster rats suddenly froze, that was her. She made her move in secret, Zhao Cheng explained. If she hadn't, you two would have been hurt, at the very least. Oh, I get it now. Zhang Dahua slapped his thigh. I knew it. I was wondering why it stopped right when it was about to grab us. He told her she was a lifesaver for helping with the egg. If they ever met again, he swore his team would help her any way they could. With that, Zhao Cheng turned to leave, explaining they had to get moving now. A quick farewell. As the three of them walked away, Hoa Xiaoman stood frozen with her fists clenched tight. She knew this was an opportunity she couldn't afford to lose. She summoned all her courage and yelled out, asking if she could go with them. All three of them stopped and turned around. Lu Ziye was impressed, thinking a new girl might be exactly what Zhao Cheng needed to get his mind off that high and mighty noble lady. Brother, Zhang Dahua pointed out that she had helped them and seemed defenseless. But Zhao Cheng warned her they were heading to fight a boss. It was dangerous. She met his gaze, her voice firm. She knew, and she'd come here to challenge it, too. She wasn't afraid of dying. Her family back in residential area 347 was waiting for her to bring back food. Failing them, she explained, would be a fate far worse than death. She pleaded one last time, asking to join their team. This was not how Lu Ziye saw this playing out at all. Before he could react, Hoa Xiaoman asked for a reason why. Her voice trembled slightly as she asked. Zhao Cheng's first reason: he couldn't guarantee her safety, so he wouldn't make an empty promise. His second point was that adding her to the team would make them more conspicuous. Drawing attention was a death sentence out here. For his third reason, Zhao Cheng paused, looking her right in the eye. He told her a man named Jiang Yi in Area 119 was a good person. If her settlement truly needed food, all she had to do was ask him. She could hardly believe it. Was he being serious? He made it clear it wasn't because she was weak. Her unique ability was just as strong as his two companions. He said this while glancing over at Lu Ziye and Zhang Dahua, then told her it was her choice whether to believe him. Lu Ziye started fuming, muttering about being looked down on. Zhang Dahua, however, honestly admitted they were incredibly weak compared to their leader. Suddenly, Hoa Xiaoman smiled, a look of pure relief on her face. She finally understood, and thanked him for his honesty. She called him a good person too, and with a hope they'd meet again, she turned and walked away. Watching her leave, Lu Ziye couldn't resist a jab, muttering that Zhao Cheng must be truly obsessed to turn down a girl like that. Zhao Cheng just put a hand on his shoulder. Ziye, you're not weak. The words hit Lu Ziye hard, followed by a huge, goofy grin. I already knew that. Lu Ziye shot back, trying to play it cool. But the strong bond between them was obvious. Zhang Dahua thought to himself that it was just like with Boss Jiang, some leaders simply inspire that kind of true loyalty. As they continued on, Lu Ziye sidled up to Zhao Cheng, whispering that he was dying to know something. Zhao Cheng was a step ahead. He wanted to know why he let Zhang Dahua join. The reason? He was Jiang Yi's man. What? While Jiang Yi's motives were unclear, a normal driver entrusted with a priceless supply truck had to be a top subordinate. By sending his right-hand man, it at least proved Jiang Yi took them seriously. But then, Zhao Cheng tripped hard on something. Hey, what's that? Lu Ziye yelled, ready to curse whatever was in the way. But the words died when he saw what was at their feet, a dead body. Zhang Dahua recognized her immediately. She was from their settlement. He was completely baffled. She was a level 9 powerhouse who always moved with her squad. How could she have died here? Zhao Cheng knelt to examine the body. Monster wounds, yes. But the killing blow was dealt by a sharp, human weapon. Chengzi, look here. Lu Ziye pointed towards a thicket. It was a mass grave, with bodies hastily hidden from view. Zhang Dahua's face went white. He recognized the other bodies. It was her entire squad, completely wiped out. Their team even had a level 10 awakened one. It was obvious someone had ambushed them after a tough fight with monsters. Zhao Cheng had seen this kind of opportunistic attack plenty of times, but this felt different. There was another possibility. He looked directly at Zhang Dahua. The killer wasn't some random scavenger. It was an enemy from right inside Area 119. It seemed, Zhao Cheng said in a low voice, that Area 119 was not nearly as united as it appeared on the surface. The second he spoke, the entire cave began to tremble violently as dust and rock rained down. A piercing drill sound echoed from above. "Cheng Zi, above!" Lu Ziye screamed, just as a grotesque monster smashed right through the stone ceiling. It had the massive body of a rat, but its head was replaced by a single, spiraling horn that looked just like a drill. A level 10 elite monster, the drillhead fierce rat. Could this be what attacked the other team? The monster gave them no time to think. It charged, its drill head aimed right at Zhang Dahua. Whoosh! Zhao Cheng was faster. He leaped forward, his sword blocking the hit as he shoved Zhang Dahua to safety. Get back! The thing's power was insane, easily as strong as the red demon pig. And this was just an elite. From a hidden corner, two figures watched it all. Well, if it isn't Zhang Dahua, Manager Jiang's right-hand man, the plan was simple. Let them wear each other out, then he'd clean up the mess. But a rabid rat suddenly charges, catching everyone completely off guard. What in the world is that? Is that thing even a rat? While everyone else panics, his mind is already analyzing the hidden enemy. If his hunch was right, the real culprit was just waiting for them and this monster to slaughter each other. That means they were dealing with a cunning schemer, who was probably hiding somewhere nearby, watching their every move. To avoid any interruptions later, he decides it's best to handle this puppeteer right now. First, he'll use the monster to put on a little show. The goal is to lure him out. He leaps forward, pretending to help Ye Zi. But where is its weak point? The plan is this. Fake a devastating injury, draw the snake from its hole, then counterattack. It's a tactic his sister taught him, perfect for this situation. Cheng Zi, watch where I'm aiming. Ye Zi activates his power, and a rock soars through the air, hitting the monster square in the chest. Its health bar only dropped 1%, but that was all he needed. He's found the weak spot. He has to pull his punches though, he can't actually kill it. If he seems too strong, the real fish won't take the bait. A single slash from him only deals about 15% damage. And at the same time, he deliberately leaves a fatal opening. The rat doesn't miss its chance. Its horn slams right into him, opening a deep wound. Ye Zi roars, his eyes turning bloodshot. "You bastard! You hurt my brother! I'll kill you!" But another voice shouts, "Little brother, don't!" Zhang Dahua rushes to stop him, knowing it will draw the creature's full attention. But it's too late. Ye Zi's rock does little damage, but it definitely enrages the monster. It whips its head around, its blood-red eyes locking directly onto Ye Zi and Zhang Dahua. We're screwed, it's looking right at us. As the rat charges, he screams, "Ye Zi, run!" It seems Ye Zi really thinks he's badly hurt, which is why he's being so reckless. Telling him the truth now would ruin the entire plan. Why is this kid being so dense right now? So fast, Ye Zi mutters, his face pale, but he still refuses to back down. "I'm not afraid of you, you pig-headed rat." Just then, Zhang Dahua explodes with incredible speed, grabbing Ye Zi and dodging the attack by a hair. A deep crater appears exactly where they were just standing. "Are you crazy? That's a level 10 monster, you know." Zhang Dahua looks at Ye Zi, a little bit impressed. Their friendship is stronger than he thought, a true ride-or-die bond. The fight turns into a chase, with Ye Zi constantly firing rocks, chipping away at the monster's health. All the while, Zhang Dahua uses his superhuman speed to keep him dodging every attack. "Damn it, driver, how are you so fast?" Ye Zi is amazed. "Aren't you only level 5? You're even faster than Cheng Zi." "Sorry about that, little brother," Zhang Dahua explains on the run. "The truth is, I'm a level 10 with the extreme speed attribute. If we survive, I'll tell you everything." Zhang Dahua, level 10. Golden attribute, extreme speed, 30% agility boost. "Alright, driver." The two of them, one attacking, one moving, work in perfect sync as the rat's health bar steadily drops. Even though they have the advantage, Ye Zi is worried. Cheng Zi took a direct hit, and they can't afford to waste any more time. Losing that much blood is dangerous. He knows they have to finish this monster, and fast. But when he reaches into his pocket, his face changes. He's out of rocks. And at that moment, the lurker in the shadows finally makes a move. "Stupid rat. You've been led around for this long and still haven't finished the job? Let me give you a hand." A rock flies out of nowhere, slamming directly into Zhang Dahua's ankle. He stumbles and falls, dragging Ye Zi down too. The monster lunges at the opportunity, its massive jaw full of fangs right in their faces. This is it. Ye Zi closes his eyes, but still screams with his last breath, "Cheng Zi, run!" But death never came. A shadow flashes past like lightning, blocking the monster's path. With just one clean slash, he splits the level 10 monster in two. He then deliberately staggers, coughing up a mouthful of blood. The more pathetic he acts, the more the real culprit will let his guard down. Ye Zi's over-the-top reaction actually made the whole act incredibly believable. He just needs to look weak enough for the real fox to show its tail. Changzi, are you okay? Yezi rushes to his side. Zhang Dahua stares in utter shock. He was grievously injured, yet he still killed a level 10 monster. This kid's combat talent is on another level. In the future, he's definitely going to be a major player. Zhao Cheng slumps down on a rock, breathing heavily, but his eyes are still burning with intensity. Don't worry, I'm not dead yet. A warm energy spreads through his body, healing his wounds. Leveling up provides a healing effect. It happened last time too, after he defeated Hong Ma Shi. Killing a level 10 elite monster, plus the effect of his absolute leadership skill. He's definitely hitting level 8. A system panel appears right before his eyes. You have slain the level 10 elite monster, the giant-headed fierce rat. The absolute leadership attribute has been activated. Experience gained plus 75%. An amplified boost. Zhao Cheng had just leveled up from 7 to 8. The Book of Eternal Evolution opened once again, presenting 3 new, glittering attribute choices. 1. Golden Fire Tempering, effect unknown. 2. Golden Valor, granting a 30% power boost. 3. Golden Independent Research, also with an unknown effect. A warning flashed. This was the final piece of the Independent Research attribute chain. Obtaining it would trigger a chain fusion. Without a moment's thought, Zhao Cheng decisively picked the third option. Chain fusion, a totally new concept, but he knew it would be incredibly powerful. It's what set him apart. Normal awakeners had to wait until level 10 just to get a new attribute. To gather a full 3-piece chain, they would need to reach at least level 30. Congratulations. The entire independent research chain has been collected. Fusion activated. Zhao Cheng figured he was already considered a freak among the other awakeners. Activating a chain fusion at level 8 meant he instantly gained a power others wouldn't see until level 30. A brilliant light began to shine as the separate attributes started to merge into one another. Let's see what it makes. Seeing Zhao Cheng frozen in the light, Liu Zia felt both excitement and worry. Cheng's leveling up again. This will help his recovery. Perfect. His eyes then turned to Zhang Dahua with a sharp, calculating look. Other issues needed to be addressed. The man was clearly with Zhang Yi's faction but was hiding his true level. He wasn't malicious, and even helped, but what was his real motive? Sensing the stare, Zhang Dahua just chuckled, pulling a bag of dried meat from his pocket. My wife prepared this. It should help you guys recover. Just say it, Liu Zia cut in. Why are you hiding your level and following us? It certainly isn't for some heroic reason, is it? Before Zhang Dahua could answer, a sinister voice echoed from the shadows of the cave. 1 heavily injured guy, 2 absolute weaklings. What perfect timing for us brothers to make our move. 2 figures darted out, radiating pure killing intent. By Lord Haley's command, everyone from Area 119 dies here. Who are they? Be careful. Zhang Dahua's reflexes were inhumanly fast. He activated his speed attribute, grabbing Liu Zia and dodging a fatal strike by a hair's breadth. Oh, Zhang Dahua, one of the attackers recognized him, much faster than last time. Otherwise, you'd be dead just like the others. Lei Changshou and Lei Jiangkang. Zhang Dahua gritted his teeth, recognizing 2 of Haley's most ruthless enforcers. They're both level 10. So you're the ones who've been slaughtering our people. Manager Jiang will make you pay for this. What is this? You know them? Liu Zia asked. They're Haley's men, Manager Jiang's sworn enemy. Zhang Dahua explained quickly. He's a radical warmonger, completely opposed to Manager Jiang's ideals. Though deep in the fusion process, Zhao Cheng heard it all. Jiang Yi's biggest rival was Haley, who was likely in league with Fan Dahu. If that was true, then the oppression of Area 226 was his debt to pay too. Our boss is not for a dead man to judge, the Lei brothers roared. Kill every last one of them. Run. Zhang Dahua grabbed Liu Zia, pushing his speed to the absolute limit. We can talk later. We have to survive this first. Useless, Lei Changshu sneered. Inside my attribute field, there is no escape for you. He raised a hand and sticky spider webs shot out, completely sealing the cave entrance. This is bad. Zhang Dahua thought desperately. These webs would cripple his speed, and without that advantage, he stood absolutely no chance against them. The Lei brothers quickly caught up. Zhang Dahua, choose a better boss in your next life. Time to take your head and get our reward. I'm sorry, little brother. In that final moment, Zhang Dahua forcefully threw Liu Zia towards Zhao Cheng. Big brother, little brother, you two are meant for bigger things. I'll hold them off. Both of you need to find a way to escape. If you make it, tell my wife and kids that Zhang Dahua wasn't a coward. He turned around, ready for his final stand. The 2 sharp blades of the Lei brothers swung down at once. Don't worry, we'll tell them for you right after we slaughter all of you. But just then, 2 small stones cut through the air, hitting their blades with shocking power. Clang! Clang! Who's there? They both roared furiously. Playing sneak attack games? You want to die? The two assassins swung their swords, attempting to counter. Their blades met Zhao Cheng's weapon with a piercing shriek of metal. Clang! A horrific force surged through their arms, leaving them numb. It's too heavy, one of them thought, terrified. This dimensional instance was clearly supposed to be for awakeners under level 10 only, but this kid's power was obviously way past the level 10 threshold. You brat. You're already this injured and you still want to meddle in our Area 119's affairs? The leader roars, but seeing Zhao Cheng's staggering, wounded state, he starts scheming. His injuries look serious. He was probably just putting on a brave face. Just stall for time. Let his wounds fester. Taking his head then would be easy. That driver is our friend. Zhao Cheng's voice, though weak, was absolutely firm. He refused to watch a friend die, so this wasn't meddling. Hearing this, tears streamed down Zhang Dahua's face. Big brother, he choked out. Manager Jiang. A man like that, a kept man for some big shot? Impossible. He's obviously a young genius, just like the one standing before him. Kid, the leader's patience runs out. My brothers are feeling generous, so we'll let you live. Now take your lackey and get lost. Zhao Cheng gives Lu Zia a signal. He gets it. Lu Zia smirks, firing back a taunt of his own. Sorry, but my brother and I are in a really bad mood, and we have no intention of letting you walk away from this. Looks like we'll have to deal with you two first. The leader explodes. Kill them all. Anyone who stands against us dies. You were given a way out, but chose the path to hell instead. He unleashes razor-sharp spider threads at the two of them. His power is immense, but the leader's own wounds are deep. If this becomes a death match, Lu Zia calculated, we're the ones who will come out on top. Before we start, I have a question. Zhao Cheng's voice cuts in. Do you know a man named Fan Dahu? Fan Dahu? The leader scoffs. You mean that idiot from District 226 in the western region? Now that you mention it, Lord He Li sent us to make a deal with him. A deal for the wild greens and modified cassava your district produces. The other goon brags. We used a few cheap supply tickets to buy up all that precious food. All we had to do was promise him a spot in District 119. He acted like an obedient dog, handing over all his people's food. So, that's how it was. Zhao Cheng grits his teeth, hissing every word. The ones who oppressed us, who pushed us to the very edge, you were a part of it. If you just said who you were, we could have avoided all this, the leader says with a condescending tone. I know District 226 is a hellhole. Bring me that driver's head, and I'll let you join us in District 119, under Lord He Li. Chengzi, this young master can't take it anymore. Liu Zia roars, his eyes turning bloodshot. So these bastards had a hand in her death too. Today, both of these scumbags are going to die. A glowing stone shoots forward, but the henchman just slices it in half. Another rock user? This attack wouldn't even scratch my little brother. His only real threat, he thinks, is the injured one. I just need to provoke him. Let his wounds rip open, stall a bit longer, and taking his head will be easy. Zia, his weaknesses. Zhao Cheng yells. Lu Zia instantly activates his ability, the Ox-Cleaving Nail Storm, Effect 2. Weakness detection. Neck, heart, head, take your pick, he screams, making sure the enemy hears every word. Chengzi wanted me to shout it. He's quiet, doesn't say much, but that doesn't mean he can't get angry. Then let's hit all three. Boss, kill his lackey first. He's the weaker one. Zhang Dahua shouts from the back. The henchman snaps, turning his blade on Zhang Dahua. I'll kill you first. But the instant he turns, a shadow blurs past. Swish! Zhao Cheng was already beside him. One clean slash, and the henchman's body is split in two. One down! The horrified leader roars, unleashing a storm of spider silk that engulfs him. The razor threads bind Zhao Cheng's arm and leg, but he just smirks, activating the bronze-tier Flame Devil Bind. Flames erupt, instantly incinerating the silk. Zhao Cheng presses his attack, giving the leader zero room to breathe. Seconds later, he stands over two corpses. You were weaker than I thought. 1. They saw his heavy injuries and completely underestimated him. And 2. Zhao Cheng felt a new power surging through his veins. Fusion attribute. Super. Limit technology. Luminary. Grade activation successful. This attribute was formed through autonomous research and fusion. Effect 1. Super. Limit enhancement. All personal attributes are increased by 150%. Effect 2. Limit break. Simultaneously enhances 3 different attributes by 600%. Duration. 5 minutes. Cooldown. 30 minutes. 3 gold-tier attributes fused into a single luminary grade 1. This is the terrifying power of attribute fusion. Seeing Zhao Cheng handle 2 powerful enemies so easily, Zhang Dahua and Lu Ziye finally let out a sigh of relief. As he gathers the loot, Zhang Dahua asks, "How can someone as amazing as you be so frugal?" "That's just his habit." Lu Ziye retorts that you'd have to be an idiot not to pick up free stuff. Zhao Cheng takes stock of the loot, some dried meat, and 200 item vouchers. He decides Lu Ziye's share will stay with him. When asked about his own cut, Zhang Dahua quickly refuses. Waving his hands, Zhang Dahua insists Zhao Cheng did all the work. Besides, if he was caught with the Lei brothers' things, the Black Prophet Guild would never let him live. His wife and kids are all back in District 119, so he has to be extra careful. But then he reveals something. While searching the monster rat, he noticed its drill seemed to contain hidden information, urging them to touch it. Could this be some hidden treasure? Liu Xie gets excited. Hidden info? Let me see. Zhang Dahua curiously reaches out and touches the strange metal drill. A system notice appears. Special item. Acquired drill of the violent rat king. It's the key to the earth. Burrowing rat tribe's treasure. Ha! This young master was right, Liu Xie cheers, realizing this is a rare treasure opportunity. The earth-burrowing rat tribe is simply the name for the monsters in this dungeon. Usually, treasure is found with the final boss. But this time, they'd managed to grab the key first. Zhao Cheng pockets the key, then looks over at Lu Ziye, hoping the treasure contains a weapon fit for him. The monsters ahead were only getting stronger, so Liu Xie needed an upgrade. Hearing this, Liu Xie can't help but feel moved. He never expected the guy to actually care about him, and not just his own power level. He admits he desperately needs a real soul armament. This old slingshot just doesn't suit his magnificent style. Next, Zhao Cheng turns to Zhang Dahua. He suspects that Black Prophet has more spies in their district than just those two, probably an inside man. He asks if Zhang Dahua wants to leave early, to warn manager Jiang. That's exactly why I can't leave, he sighs. He admits Zhao Cheng is a beast, but glances at Lu Xie, who's still too weak. If he left, Lu Xie would just be a burden. Hey! Are you seriously dissing me right to my face? Lu Xie leaps up, totally offended. Little brother, I didn't mean it like that, but Zhao Cheng just cuts in calmly. He's right. Then let's keep moving. Lu Xie grumbles. Right about what? Don't push this young master. If I get serious, I'll blow you all away. Don't you know the saying? A man changes completely in 3 days. Right. The little brother has a point. Zhang Dahua quickly chimes in, trying to keep the peace. Of course, just wait. I'll repay today's humiliation 100 times over. 30 years east, 30 years west. Never underestimate a poor kid. Lu Xie throws his head back, dramatically rattling off his lines full of fighting spirit. Zhao Cheng finds it a little funny. Where'd you learn all that? From some old book? Just jealous of my culture, aren't you? As they continue onward, the three of them suddenly freeze. Up ahead lies a horrifying scene. Dozens of bodies litter the ground. So many people died? Lu Xie stammers. Zhang Dahua checks the bodies, his expression turning grim. He confirms they aren't from District 119, but outsiders. Their gear was stripped clean. This was a pure slaughter for loot. The killers not only stole everything, but also wiped out the competition. It seems the Lei brothers were just the appetizer. The real massacre, Zhao Cheng thinks, has just begun. At that exact moment, his ears twitch. After his breakthrough, his hearing had become ridiculously sharp. He raises a hand, signaling the others to halt. There's a fight ahead. Maybe they can swoop in and steal the prize. Hiding behind a rock, they spot a familiar figure cornered. It's Hua Xiaoman. A scantily dressed, heavily made-up woman is closing in on her. Ugly thing, stop struggling, she sneers. Just die already so we can get to the boss. It's her. What a strange fate. He's surprised she managed to get this far all alone. The woman's two goons rush Hua Xiaoman, shouting, Die, you poison witch! There's no escape. My stamina's gone. Hua Xiaoman thinks in despair, unable to even use her elemental powers anymore. Everyone, I can't bring back the food. She regrets not listening to Zhao Cheng and retreating earlier for help. Just as the blade is about to hit her, a black shadow flashes by. A quick slash. The two goons drop to the ground, silenced forever. Open your eyes, you're not dead yet. Hua Xiaoman looks up, her tear-filled eyes wide with shock. Is that you? You guys made it here too. He nods. Yeah. Step aside. I'll handle this for you. The woman watches her men fall without a hint of panic. Instead, she flashes a seductive smile. Well now, little brother, not bad. She activates her ability, and pink hearts float from her body. Wanna have some fun with me? Cheng Zi, be careful. Big brother, watch out. Her ability might be mind control. Lu Ziye and Zhang Dahua rush to shield Zhao Cheng, but are immediately swallowed by the cloud of pink hearts. These two idiots. The woman clicked her tongue. My power only works when the target's guard is down. They ruined my whole plan. The two men immediately turned to attack him, but with his current speed, they were nothing more than clumsy puppets. Wait, she yelled as he closed in. Please, just listen to me. I promise this will benefit you, not harm you. You'll definitely regret it if you kill me now. Just hear me out, my ability is special. And I'm from Area 119, she said, twisting her body to show off her curves. If you kill me, my big brother will never let you get away with it. So how about you let me follow you, huh? This guy was cold and ruthless. Seduction was her only option for now. Once inside, Brother Jun's people would take care of him. Is that all? His voice was ice. Go deeper inside, and it's all my brother's people. Taking me with you is your only advantage. Loners like you just walk in there to die. My big brother has already laid his claim. The slots for the company this time belong to Area 119. If you and I become a couple, you'll be one of us too. Hua Xiaoman watched him with a worried expression. In times like these, many women use such tactics to survive. She just hoped he wouldn't be fooled. Is your boss Hei Li? He asked. My boss has way more seniority than a piece of trash like Hei Li, she said smugly. Even Manager Jiang has to call my boss Brother Jun with respect. All right, I get it. Thinking he'd finally agreed, she flashed a seductive smile. See? You really are a smart one. With the two of us as a couple, getting a spot in the company will be a piece of cake. But his only reply was the cold glint of his blade. With a single slash, her body fell, the smile still frozen on her lips. Weren't her terms pretty good? Why did you still kill her? Hua Xiaoman couldn't hide her confusion. Zhao Cheng calmly wiped the blood from his blade and explained everything. First, she wanted to kill you, and I promised I'd help you once. Second, someone who tries to kill me and control my friends can never be a sincere ally. Third, and most importantly, he had no intention of becoming a hunting dog for some guy named Huang Jun, and he definitely wasn't planning on joining Area 119, so that's how it was. Hua Xiaoman thought to herself that his reasoning was extremely rational and trustworthy, but it also made him feel a little bit terrifying. Just then, Liu Xie and Zhang Dahua snapped out of their controlled state. My head is spinning. What did you just do? What happened? I think I was trying to attack Cheng. That woman's attribute ability was controlling you guys, Zhao Cheng explained. If she could do it once, she could do it again. To prevent any future problems, he took action. Zhang Dahua was suddenly struck by a realization. She was one of Deputy Manager Huang Jun's women. By killing her, you've now offended 2 of the 3 top leaders in the residential area. It doesn't matter, Zhao Cheng replied. Once he secured a spot in the company, he was leaving this place anyway. The 3 leaders? Liu Xie cut in. Just Jiang Yi, Hei Li, and that Huang Jun guy? That's right. Zhang Dahua confirmed they were the 3 powers controlling Area 119, but their conflicting views kept them at odds. Then it's obvious, Liu Xie guessed. The ones who set the trap here must be Huang Jun and Hei Li. Jiang Yi knows Cheng's identity isn't simple, so she wouldn't dare act rashly, but those other 2 are different. Cheng, my man, just keep pretending you have an amazing background. Out in the world, you make your own status, right? Big brother, little brother, if we go on, we'll be surrounded by a bunch of fake awakened ones. Are we still going deeper? Zhang Dahua asked worriedly. I have to get into that company. Zhao Cheng was resolute, his eyes fixed on the cave's dark depths. My older sister is still waiting for me. Wherever Cheng goes, I go, Liu Xie declared, patting his chest. Then I'm going too. Senior, Hua Xiaoman hesitated. You really can't take me with you? Don't get too close, Zhao Cheng told her. Keep your distance and use your ability to provide support. That's the best way. Yes, I'll do my best not to be a burden, Senior. Seeing this, Liu Xie nudged his friend. What's with that? Feeling sorry for her? I thought your sister was the only one on your mind. It's only going to get more dangerous from here, Zhao Cheng replied, ignoring the tease. With her around, your own safety increases by 10 or 20%. Humph. As if I need a woman's protection. Senior, since you've agreed, Hua Xiaoman spoke up, I won't hide it any longer. There are actually a few others here. She activated her olfactory attribute, golden tracking. A faint fragrance spread out, and immediately, everyone sensed the presence of others hiding nearby. Whoa, there are this many people hidden here, and they're all injured. That's right, we were all beaten back from the front line, one of the severely injured men said. Getting into the company is a true life or death battle, but those bastards are just too despicable. They didn't just set traps, they pretended to be supporters sent by Area 119. Then, when my guard was down, they chopped off my arm. After speaking, the young man coughed up a mouthful of blood. That woman from before brought her lackeys here, planning to kill them all to keep them quiet. Hua Xiaoman added, I couldn't just stand by and watch, so I decided to help them out. They were completely out of the fight, but the monsters wouldn't let up. What was the right call here? Lu Zia's mind raced. Leaving them meant certain death, but a rescue would cost time they needed to hunt the boss and claim its treasure. Hua Xiaoman glanced nervously at Zhao Cheng. The man was terrifyingly rational. Would he make the ruthless choice? Abandoning them right there was obviously the best option for their mission. Zhao Cheng was silent for a moment before making his decision. He looked at Zhang Dehua and Hua Xiaoman. Driver, you two, Miss Hua, and Big Brother Chu Feng here. It's only going to get more dangerous deeper in. I need you all to get this group out of here safely. Without hesitation, Zhang Dehua replied. Got it. Hua Xiaoman let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness he wasn't that kind of person. Manager Jiang. This kid is a lot like you. He actually sees ordinary people as human. The young man named Chu Feng called out to Zhao Cheng. I've got something for you. It's in my pocket. Just take it, he said with a weak smile. I got this from an elite claw rat, but it's no use to me anymore. I, Chu Feng, will remember this debt for saving my life. Zhao Cheng pulled out an old piece of animal hide. Ziye, what is this? Liu Ziye shouted. Oh my god, it's a map to this dungeon's hidden treasure. So the treasure was completely separate from the boss. They had just gotten the drill key, and now a treasure map? Their luck was insane. Okay, here's the plan. Zhao Cheng laid it out fast. Ziye, you go find the treasure. I'll head into the boss's area. Are you crazy? Liu Ziye yelled back. We have no idea how dangerous the boss area is right now. Going alone is just suicide. I'll get the treasure, we'll power up, and then our chances will be much higher. I'll play it by ear, I won't be reckless, Zhao Cheng reassured him. Just be careful on your way. Liu Ziye gritted his teeth. Cheng was right. At his current level, he couldn't face level 10 enemies. Getting that treasure was the only way he could help him. The treasure's location was this way. Cheng, you better wait for me. Liu Ziye turned and bolted, leaving Zhao Cheng to venture deeper into the cave alone. The further he went, the more bodies he saw, both human and monster. The silence was unnerving. Looks like the Black Prophet team already cleared the path. If so, that meant Zaya's route should be a lot safer. Suddenly, an earth-shattering roar echoed from up ahead. A sound. Zhao Cheng narrowed his eyes. He must have reached the boss area. From a high vantage point, Zhao Cheng watched the brutal battle raging below. The massive boss was covered in wounds, its health down to about 15%. A group of people were surrounding it, unleashing their final attacks. That was it, the instance boss. And it was nearly exhausted. He quickly calculated his odds. Everyone all together now. Kill it! The team leader's voice rang out. The beast was about to die, but he couldn't let it fall just yet. Zhao Cheng narrowed his eyes. If he did, he'd have to face all of them alone. He needed the boss to tie up a few of them, giving him a chance to pick off the weaker ones first. These guys murdered innocents for profit. Taking them out was just serving justice. His targets were the 3 weakest members standing guard on the outer perimeter. They had no idea that death itself was rushing toward them from behind. Once we kill this boss, we'll finally qualify to join the company. One of the men gloated. All that killing of wanderers on the outside is finally paying off. A second one chimed in. With company status, my rank in the residential area will go up. I'll grab a dozen girls to play with then. The third one just laughed lewdly. Too bad. A voice as cold as ice spoke from right behind them. None of you are getting out of here. 3 flashes of a sword, and 3 heads tumbled to the ground. The trio never even knew what hit them. The fighters battling the boss instantly noticed Zhao Cheng's presence. I can't believe there are still survivors who made it this far. Old Lu and the Ma brothers. The leader roared. You 3 take care of that kid. Old Zhang and I will handle the boss's last bit of health. Where did this stray dog come from, daring to ruin our big score? The muscular Lu Baiyu, a level 11, bellowed. He activated Golden Tier Valiance, boosting his strength by 30% for 15 minutes. The 2 archers, Ma Fei and Ma Zhuang, drew their bows, energy crackling at their arrow tips. Let's see you block this. But Zhao Cheng moved like a ghost. He weaved past Lu Baiyu at terrifying speed and appeared right in front of Ma Zhuang. 1 sword stroke and another life was extinguished. Too weak. You 2 are next. Don't hold back. This kid's not like the other wanderers, Lu Baiyu roared. Ma Fei, the remaining Ma brother, gritted his teeth. Then try this on for size. Activating Golden Tier Barrage Shot, his damage increased 50% and gained an explosion effect. Lu Baiyu also switched targets, activating Golden Tier Ice Fist, a 55% damage boost with slow and freeze effects. Ranged Awakeners usually had terrible close combat skills. Once he got in close, they were as good as dead. Zhao Cheng calculated as he moved, weaving like a shuttle between arrows and icy fists, constantly closing the distance. Old Zhang. That kid is no joke, the leader yelled. Killing the boss is more important. Old Zhang shot back. Even if they all die, as long as we kill the boss, we can still join the company. He was right, Old Zhang was the one seeing the big picture. The leader silently agreed and kept hammering the boss, its health bar dropping down to 6%. Meanwhile, Lu Baiyu and Ma Fei grew more frantic as Zhao Cheng got closer. Damn it, there's no way out. Let him taste the deadliest arrow of our brotherhood, Ma Fei shouted, pouring all his energy into a single shot. Their deadliest arrow? Perfect. This would be a good chance to test the limits of his new body. Zhao Cheng suddenly stopped, making no move to dodge. The explosive arrow slammed straight into his chest, creating a terrifying blast. He didn't even try to dodge? He's a complete madman. Lu Baiyu was stunned. Lucky for us he's a psycho, Ma Fei sighed in relief. If he'd dodged that, we'd be dead for sure. But as the smoke cleared, a black shadow flashed past. Ma Fei collapsed, his throat cut by a single sword stroke. My brother! Lu Baiyu screamed in pure agony. You bastard, you'll be buried with my brother. But before Lu Baiyu could even attack, another slash of the sword finished him. When you massacre others, you should know that this day would come for you, too. The power boost from the superlimit tech was far beyond his imagination. It had raised his physical attributes to a new level, enough to withstand attacks like that without even using an active skill. If he activated his limit break, just how powerful would he become? He glanced at the last two men. First, kill the boss to secure a spot in the company. Old Zhang and the leader were still busy attacking it, but when the boss's health hit just 1%, it suddenly dropped its weapon, clutched its head, and let out a heart-wrenching scream of pain. What's going on? Is it begging for mercy? Crash. The cave ceiling shattered as a giant battle axe smashed down, revealing an even larger, more ferocious monster. The Giant Rat King, a level 13 hidden boss. 2 bosses in one dungeon. Old Zhang and the leader were sweating bullets. The Giant Rat King swung its axe in a world-shaking attack, forcing the two to scramble back. Running away already? A deep, powerful voice boomed from the Giant Rat King. A second boss, and it could speak human language? Zhao Cheng was stunned. To be safe, he had to take one of them down first. I can't believe it can talk, Old Zhang said. We have to kill the weaker one first. You want to kill her? The Giant Rat King roared, blocking the first boss with its axe. You'll have to step over my dead body first. This thing is way too strong, the leader thought. We spent half a day just getting the other one down this low. At that moment, while the Giant Rat King was focused on the two in front of it, Zhao Cheng had quietly circled around behind them. Seizing the moment the first boss was unguarded, he lunged forward. This head is mine. 1 slash later, the low-health boss's head rolled to the ground. That bastard stole our kill again. The leader was furious. Easy now. Old Zhang held him back, a cunning look in his eyes. That big boss treated the dead one like its lover. All he did was make himself the Giant Rat King's #1 target. All we have to do is sit back and enjoy the show. Enraged, the Giant Rat King let out a deafening roar and charged straight for him. Human, you will die. He didn't flinch, instead charging forward to meet it head-on. Just how strong is a level 13 boss? He had to see if he could block its attack. Boom! A single swipe of its claw shook the ground, sending him flying backward with incredible force. He was secretly horrified. The basic stats of every individual were already different, but after leveling up, the gap was absolutely enormous. A straight-up brawl with this thing was impossible. From a distance, the two men watched, their faces filled with worry. Just based on its aura alone, this Giant Rat King was twice as strong as the armored fierce rat from before. Without the Ma brothers' support, the two of us can't do this. The Giant Rat King continued its insane charge. I want your head. But this time, he didn't meet it head-on. Its power was terrifying, but its speed wasn't anything special. As long as he focused on dodging, it wasn't too difficult. While evading, he was also calculating. Those two must have realized they couldn't kill this boss alone. They needed him, but he knew the moment the boss fell, they would immediately turn on him. Right on cue, one of them called out, Hey brother, we're all here for a spot in the company. This boss is too strong, so why don't we team up? As for you killing our brothers, we can let that slide for now. Just as he'd expected. Everything was going according to plan. In this world, there are no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. Fine, he answered curtly. Let's kill the boss first, and deal with everything else later. The two men glanced at each other, communicating with just their eyes. Brother Chu, the kid agreed. Let's stick to the plan. Got it. When the boss's health hits 10%, we go for its head. Brother, we're here to help. The three of them charged into the fight, coordinating to chip away at the Rat King's health. But when its HP hit 76%, It roared, and a dark aura exploded from its body. The Rat King activated Demonic Corruption, a bronze-tier skill boosting its damage and speed by 15%. It lasted 15 minutes, and with its power spiking, a single tail swipe sent them all flying, coughing up blood, but it was just a minor injury. They quickly got back on their feet and resumed the assault. The other two finally decided to use their trump cards. Brother Chu activated Valiant, a gold-tier skill that boosted his strength by 30%. Brother Zhang activated Extreme Strength, a bronze-tier skill increasing his power by 40% at the cost of 20% of his speed. Pushed into a corner, the Rat King let out one final roar as its body swelled to an unnatural size. It had activated Rat King Form, a gold-tier, boss-exclusive attribute. HP up 50%, Strength up 30%, Size up 40%. Mortals, open your eyes and witness my true form. Its health bar shot up from 48% straight to 98%. Damn it, was its second attribute really this terrifying? This was a boss-exclusive skill. They had to stop holding back and go all out, or they'd all end up dead. His two allies didn't dare hide their skills any longer. Brother Chu activated 10-directional Shadow Guard, summoning 10 shadow clones, each with 30% of his power. Brother Zhang activated Blazing Blade Wind, a bronze-tier skill that let his weapon unleash fiery slashes that caused burn damage. Let's go, finish it. The three sides clashed once again in a chaotic frenzy. He noticed the other two saw he hadn't activated his second attribute yet. They probably thought he wasn't even level 10. He played along, knowing the moment he looked exhausted would be the moment they'd strike. The battle descended into absolute chaos. The Rat King's health bar was dropping faster than a lead balloon. It was down to 13%, just a little more to go. Everything you've got. End it now. He intentionally rushed forward, leaving a huge opening as if he was completely out of steam. This should be enough, right? Time for them to make their move, and just as he predicted, Zhang attacked. Two sharp blades slashed towards him from both sides simultaneously. He feigned shock. What are you doing? Aren't we supposed to be working together? Brother Chu just sneered. A punk who isn't even level 10 thinks he's worthy of working with us. You killed our teammate and took the loot. What makes you think you can join forces? Fair point. He smirked, his eyes turning ice cold. What a coincidence. Because I never actually intended to team up with you either. His true power erupted, effortlessly shattering the shadow clones. My shadow guards, you still have strength left? So what if I do? The gap between level 10 and below is night and day. Even if you have energy, you're no match for us. Besides, that boss behind you is targeting you now. How ridiculous, betraying your own kind. The Rat King charged forward too. For any normal awakened person, this would have been an inescapable trap. But he spoke calmly, his voice as cold as ice. Too bad I'm different. A system notification appeared. Activate Brilliant Fusion. Effect 2. Break the limit. Agility, strength, and stamina increased by 600%. Duration. 5 minutes. I'm no hero, he said. But I know to beat evil, you have to be 10 times more evil than they are. Meanwhile, in another part of the cave, Liu Zie was looking at his map. The treasure was just ahead. He prayed he wouldn't run into any monsters. Without his chauffeur, this young master had no way to escape. But soon, his expression changed. The smell of blood. Terrified, he clasped his hands together and began praying frantically. Ancestors of the Xiao, Ye, Shi, and Lin families, and all the gods above, please protect me. Don't let me run into any monsters. After his prayers, he cautiously crept inside and witnessed a horrifying scene. A treasure chest sat in the middle of countless corpses, both human and monster. Whew, that was close. Liu Zi sighed in relief. It seemed praying to the gods actually worked. No wonder the ancient books always talked about this stuff. He looked around. This map must have dropped from a steel claw rat. They must have come here after finding it, only to run into whatever was guarding the chest. Thank you, 3 brave souls, for paving the way. This young master will remember your noble sacrifice. He gleefully ran toward the chest but suddenly stopped. Now how was he supposed to open it? The chest lock looked way bigger than his key. On instinct, Liu Zi tried pressing the horned rat's horn into the lock. Was this one of those use the power of faith to create a miracle moments? Nope. The moment it touched the lock, the hard horn dissolved into a stream of light, reforming into a perfectly shaped key. Oh, now that's a smart key. Liu Zi grinned from ear to ear. He wondered what a gray-level dungeon's treasure chest would hold. Last time, he had to give the Frost King's chest directly to Guan Shui without even getting a peek. He eagerly opened the chest. Inside was an exquisite crossbow glowing with a faint green light. The Silverstone crossbow, a green-grade, long-range weapon. Damage, 300 plus 120% of the user's strength. Special effect. When used with black feather arrows, deals an additional 200 fixed damage. A crossbow? This young master is saved. Lucia excitedly picked it up to admire it. Wow. With this, I can finally ditch that raggedy old slingshot. Cheng Zi, just you wait. This young master is coming back a king. The words barely left his mouth when a giant rat burst from the shadows. Walking right into his trap? Perfect for testing the power of this new crossbow. Lucia drew the bow, activating its butcher's insight attribute. The rat's fatal weak point lit up, clear as day. 500 base damage, plus 120% of his own strength, plus another 200% for hitting a weak spot. Let's see you survive this. Whiz! The arrow sliced through the air, embedding itself perfectly. The giant rat only had time to let out a shriek before it crashed to the ground, dead. Lucia froze, then leaped into the air with pure joy. Holy crap, a one-shot kill. This thing was absolutely insane. No wonder Cheng was like a tiger with wings after getting that new dagger. A good weapon really made all the difference. A moment later, a surge of energy flooded his body, taking him from level 5 all the way to level 6. A single rat and he leveled up. He realized he must have been splitting a ton of experience with Cheng this whole time. He had to get to him, fast. He pulled back his arrow, fired up. Cheng, this young master is on his way to help you. But as he got closer to the boss's lair, the ground began to shake violently. Damn, was the boss really that powerful? A fight that could shake the entire cavern? Could Cheng be in danger? He broke into a dead sprint. Cheng, don't be scared. This young master is here to save you. When he burst into the cave, the sight that met his eyes left him completely stunned. The bodies of awakened ones were scattered everywhere, and in the center of it all, Zhao Cheng held He Li by the throat, lifting him into the air with one hand. Zia, is that you? Zhao Cheng turned, his voice perfectly calm. Luzia's jaw hit the floor. He was used to his friend being a beast, but this was just ridiculous. He didn't even leave this young master a chance to show off. But just then, the final boss, the Great Axe King Rat, let out a roar, swinging a massive bone axe in a sneak attack from behind Zhao Cheng. Cheng, look out! Zhao Cheng just glanced over his shoulder. He swung his other hand, his blade drawing a perfect arc that sent the boss's head flying. You have defeated the level 13 boss, the Great Axe King Rat. The absolute leadership attribute has been activated. Zhao Cheng had leveled up from 8 to 10, killing the boss instantly gave him 2 whole levels. The Book of Eternal Evolution is activated. Please choose a new attribute. Bronze Sharpness, Bronze Demon Strike, Bronze Dual Wield Mastery, Golden Ice Shot, Golden Explosive Shot, and Wind Control. The Radiant attribute had appeared again. Right then, another notification appeared. Limit Break's duration has ended. Power reserves depleted. Zhao Cheng staggered and fell to his knees. So this was the backlash? The skill consumed an insane amount of stamina. In his current state, he could only use it once in a fight. Cheng, are you hurt? Lu Ziye rushed over to support him. Just a little exhausted. Ziye realized that Cheng was still human. He always charged into the most dangerous spots, but even he had moments of weakness. Lu Ziye decided that in these moments, it was his turn to be the protector. He could rest easy now. But suddenly, the cave started to shake violently again. The instance was collapsing. Liu Ziye recalled the process was slow last time. Cheng needed to recover, and he had no idea what was waiting outside. If He Li's and Huang Jun's men were camped out there, they were toast. He had to buy some time. He hoisted Zhao Cheng onto his back and started for the entrance. But along the way, more of the smaller rats began to appear. The boss is dead, but there are still mobs left? Liu Ziye drew his bow. But this young master is a whole different person now. He easily dispatched one, but 3 more immediately rushed out a level 6 and 2 level 7s. Damn it, not 1 mob, but 4. He gritted his teeth. 4 it is. It was time for Lu Ziye to hold the line all by himself. Chung, this time, I'll be the one to protect you. Outside the instance, Huang Jun, level 27 and deputy manager of Sector 119, was casually sipping some tea. The instance is collapsing, which means someone cleared it. Keep a close watch. If the person who walks out isn't one of ours, deal with them according to the plan. Elsewhere, He Li, a level 28 deputy manager, was also smiling sinisterly. I'll say the exact same thing. If they're not our people, smash their skulls for me. Back in the sector's infirmary, Zhang Dahua was reporting to Jiang Yi. Manager Jiang, everything I said is the truth. If I told even half a lie, may I die without a proper grave. Shut up, Jiang Yi snapped. If you die, who's going to raise your wife and kids? Me? You people always burn through my item vouchers. His voice softened. But that Zhao Cheng really does have the same air as my younger self. No way he's some big shots kept man. He knew how dangerous it was inside, yet he took the initiative to let you guys get the wounded out first. That's right. Manager Jiang Yi's eyes narrowed. Perhaps he felt it was too dangerous and intentionally gave them a way out to save their own skin. Ah, I suppose that's possible. Zhang Dahua scratched his head just as someone rushed in with a report. Boss, Huang Jun and He Li have their men surrounding the exit. They've announced that anyone who comes out that isn't one of them is to be killed on sight. Bai, Jiang Yi's right-hand man, scoffed. What a bunch of morons. It doesn't matter who comes out. There'll be someone who passed the company's official trial. If they make a move, the examiner watching from above will never just stand by. So we just ignore them? The other man shot back. Boss. Bai turned to face Jiang Yi, his expression growing serious. Huang Jun and He Li aren't idiots. To act this brazenly, they must have another way to deal with the company. Manager Jiang, Zhang Dahua pleaded. This meant if Manager Jiang didn't step in, relying solely on the examiner, Zhao Cheng and his friend would be in mortal danger. The company doesn't care much for rules. They only care about who has value. Jiang Yi flicked his cigarette ash away, his gaze turning cold. Get the men. We're heading to the exit, too. If Zhao Cheng and his friend are the ones who walk out, I will personally protect them. Thank you, Manager Jiang. Zhang Dahua was overjoyed. Jiang Yi's word was as good as gold, making a promise that public. Bai whispered, have your feelings about that kid changed? Not yet. But if he can survive and walk out of there, then it doesn't matter if he's some big shot's boy toy. He's our best ladder to the top. Jiang Yi replied, this move is for our future, too. But I get the feeling you see something more in that kid. Shut it, Jiang Yi snapped. Keep talking nonsense and I'll tear your mouth open. Meanwhile, in the chaotic space, Zhao Cheng awoke. How long was I asleep? The dungeon instance is collapsing. Zia, wake up. He shook the body next to him. The instance is collapsing. We have to get out now. Lu Zia, covered in blood, weakly opened his eyes. I know, Cheng Zi. You're finally awake. He coughed, blood spilling from his lips. But if we go out now, Huang Jun and He Li will be waiting at the exit. They won't let us get away. Lu Zia's health bar was down to a dangerously thin sliver. While you were out, I carried you and single-handedly took down 4 of those steel claw rats. I said I would become a king, and I always keep my word. He was this badly injured, while Zhao Cheng was completely unharmed. This kid risked his life to protect him. Zia, can you still walk? We can't stay here any longer. Then we have to go. This time, it was Zhao Cheng's turn to carry his friend, with no idea what situation awaited them outside. Stepping out of here could be like walking into a mountain of blades. Let's go, he whispered. Whether it's a mountain of blades or a sea of fire, we brothers will face it together. Of course. Lu Zia rested his head on his shoulder, smiling faintly as the spatial vortex outside began to shimmer. Look, someone's coming out. Is it one of our people? From a high-rise building, Guan Shui watched through binoculars as a figure appeared in the portal. The true winner of the trial was about to emerge. My lady, there's no need to be so worried, the butler beside her said. If the person you chose can't even get out, he has simply failed your expectations. Besides, for a low-level assessment like this, you had no need to come and watch in person. Quiet, she snapped, her eyes fixed on the binoculars. It's definitely him, she murmured. Kings and nobles are not determined by birth. Don't ever say something like that again, she warned sternly. Understood, my lady. The image cleared. 2 battered figures, one carrying the other, stepped out of the portal. It really was them. Guan Shui smiled. Zia is as weak as ever, needing Cheng Zi to carry him out. Below, Huang Jun and He Li's men began to stir with rage. That's not our guys. Who is that kid? Where are our brothers? Hey, kid! Only you 2 came out? Where are my brothers? A man roared. Zhao Cheng set Liu Zia down, his voice echoing, cold and sharp. They're dead. I killed them. Your brothers were nothing more than animals. Liu Zia coughed, but still managed to add his 2 cents. This young master killed a few of them myself. The killing intent became suffocating. Who the hell are you 2? You dare kill our men? You're not leaving here alive. Take their heads and avenge our brothers. Huang Jun and He Li stepped forward, their eyes filled with pure murderous intent. If our people couldn't get the spot, then you don't get to live either. Tear them to pieces, the crowd roared, charging toward them. Aside from Huang Jun and He Li, the rest of these thugs aren't even as strong as the monsters he killed inside. A bunch of trash who didn't even qualify for the dungeon. What gives you the right to scream at me? Zhao Cheng thought to himself. If you want to die so badly, you can be the whetstone for my new attribute. He raised his hand, as energy began to gather. Level 9 attribute, Sharpness. Increases armor penetration by 15%. And level 10 attribute, Wind Control. Summon and manipulate gales. He jumped 2 entire levels from 8 straight to 10. This level 10 attribute was a completely new type of skill. He didn't know its full power yet, but for now, it was more than enough. Activate Wind Control. A terrifying tornado instantly formed, whipping up a blinding storm of sand and dust. Where did this wind come from? Damn it, I've got sand in my eyes. But that was only the beginning. Sparks ignited within the vortex, fanned by the wind into a raging inferno that engulfed the charging crowd. Screams of agony erupted. It's burning. Put it out. So painful. His enemies realized he had some serious skill. Hoang Quan narrowed his eyes, his hand tightening on his sword. This kid was dangerous. Hak Loi asked, "Is it the wind that's your power, or the flame? Which one is my ability?" Trier Thon shot back mockingly. "What does it matter to men who are about to die?" "Hak Loi, stop wasting your breath on him," Hoang Quan roared. "He's just a kid. Level 7 or 8 at most. How strong can he really be?" "Thon, put me down," Datu whispered from his back. "These two are no joke. While you're carrying me like this, you definitely can't win against them." "I know," he replied with an unnerving calm. "But even if I put you down, I still can't beat them." Datu's face went completely pale. "What? Then why were you so arrogant before? I thought you had some incredible ace up your sleeve." "I don't have any ace," he replied, "but confronting them openly right now is the best way for us to make our stance known." "Make our stance known to who?" High up on a skyscraper, Quan Tuyet and her attendant were watching. Those two deputy managers are finally making their move. They're both awakened in their 20s. Trio Thon is completely outmatched. "Are you expecting me to intervene?" she asked. "Just relax, it's not time yet," Quan Tuyet replied, her gaze fixed on the battlefield. "But why not? Because the one who needs to make a move has already arrived." Just as she said, Hoang Quan and Hak Loi charged forward, radiating pure killing intent. "You punk! You dared to kill my woman? I'll make sure you're buried right there with her. My best men died in that fire. Your head alone isn't enough to pay for them." "Thon, run." Datu panicked. "No need to run," he said. "They're here too." An earth-shattering roar echoed from the distance, carrying the terrifying pressure of a mighty tiger. Golden skill, Tiger King's roar activated. "All of you, stand down." It was the power of Kung Wei. Datu cheered. "We saved so many people, he must have gotten the news." "I was counting on it," Triothon said. Kung Wei and his subordinates strode forward, their presence completely overwhelming. "Triothon is with my company. No one touches him, or they'll answer to me." "Kung Wei, you finally decided to show up," Hoang Quan growled. "What's wrong? You been waiting for me?" "Of course," Hak Loi sneered. "The old manager's downfall is about to happen all over again today. Just with the two of you?" Kung Wei scoffed, utterly unimpressed. "Even if it is just us, are you so sure you'll win?" Hoang Quan shot back confidently, only one level below Kung Wei. "I'm on the same level as you," Hak Loi boasted. "And Quan is even stronger than your lackey, Bak Vin. The advantage is ours. On top of that, we even called for backup from Sector 173 this time. Kung Wei, today is the day you all die." Just then, a soldier rushed over, completely out of breath. "Manager Kung, it's an emergency. There are awakeners from Sector 173 attacking the main gate. Everyone but Bak Vin, go provide support immediately." Kung Wei's order was decisive. "After I finish things here, I will join you." "What did you promise those guys from 173? He turned to the two traitors, his eyes as cold as ice. "We promised that if they helped us, they could loot all of Sector 119 for 3 days. Except for the people, all the resources are theirs for the taking." Hak Loi laughed like a maniac. "I'm about to cut you down right here. Why would they fear a dead man? You dared to sell out our entire residential sector? We've come this far. What's there not to dare?" Hoang Quan roared. "When I helped you overthrow the last manager, I was your deputy, and when he was gone, I was still just the deputy manager. So what was the point? I said we needed to expand, but you shot me down every time. You wouldn't even share more resources with me. What reason did I have left to follow you?" Everyone had their own agenda. Triothon realized that after this battle, Sector 119 would be purged, but for the civilians, Kung Yu was their best choice. He never thought Kung Wei would have so many traitors working under him, Datu whispered. Just then, Truong Daihoa showed up. "Big bro, little bro, I'm over here. You, the driver, come with me, quick. When they really start fighting, at their level, we'll just be cannon fodder. I'll get you two to safety." The moment he finished speaking, a massive explosion tore through the spot where they had just been standing. Truong Daihoa quickly dragged them behind a ruined wall. In the sky, the battle between the titans had begun, skill effects lighting up the darkness like fireworks at the end of the world. "They're fighting!" Datu cried out in terror. Those are natural element attributes, lightning and earth flow. If Hoang Quan can control earth flow, then what kind of attribute is Manager Hung's green flame? Triothan wondered. That's the legendary radiance attribute, Truong Dai Hoa said, his voice filled with pure awe. No one knows its true power. But Manager Hung once said it comes from the flames of the underworld. A rare radiance attribute, 1 in 10,000? Da Tu couldn't believe it. But Zhang Dahua simply nodded. He'd read about this in some ancient texts. The reason their world fell apart? It all started in the ancient era when one person accidentally awakened the very first radiance attribute. That single ability wiped out the most prosperous civilization in human history. About Cheng? Dantu turned to him, eyes gleaming. If they could get a power that strong, saving his sister and restoring their world would be more than a dream. They could even rebuild civilization. Maybe so, he replied. But his mind was already racing with other thoughts. His own radiance attribute was nothing like that legendary power. Even within the same attribute, there were huge differences in strength. But with the Eternal Evolution book, maybe, just maybe, he could one day wield that kind of terrifying ability. But could a power that destroys worlds also consume its wielder? Could any human truly hope to control something like that? Haile let out a roar, pointing his massive greatsword right at his sworn enemy. Don't think your radiance attribute makes you unbeatable. My own power isn't just for show either. He activated the second ability of the Golden Bronze Giant. Haile's body swelled, muscles rippling as his skin hardened into solid bronze. He became a true giant, proving that even golden attributes have different levels of power. I'm going to smash you into a meat patty, Jiang Yi. Anyone who stands in my way dies. Facing Haile's monstrous new form, Jiang Yi simply said, You alone aren't nearly enough to replace me. Netherworld flames erupted from his body, incinerating everything. Ah! Haile roared in agony as the fire seared his skin. But he still charged forward like a madman. Before you burn me to a crisp, I'm taking you down with me. Is that Jiang Yi an idiot? Liu Zie watched from a distance, filled with worry. Why isn't he dodging? In a reckless fight like this, anything could happen. But he was distracted, helping his teammate Zhao Cheng break through his limits. And it was true. A portion of Jiang Yi's nether flames were wrapped around Huang Jun, keeping him from reaching Bai Rong. Bai Rong, another vice manager, was currently trapped by Huang Jun's earth flow technique. Bai Rong, that pathetic little flame can't save you. Huang Jun sneered. The higher the level, the bigger the gap in power. Remember this lesson with your life. Now die, you dog of Jiang Yi. Sharp earthen spikes shot up from the ground, aiming straight for Bai Rong's heart. Jiang Yi roared, forming a wall of fire to block them. It's useless. Fire can't contain earth, Huang Jun mocked him. Knowing this was the end, Bai Rong yelled, Manager Jiang, I have no regrets following you in this life. Just as the spikes were about to pierce his body, a shadow blurred past like lightning. With a flash of steel, every single spike was cut down. Zhao Cheng had appeared. Bai Rong was stunned, unable to believe his eyes. Zhao Cheng, how do you have this kind of strength? Just yesterday you weren't strong enough. This state, it can't be maintained for long. Zhao Cheng spoke quickly. Let's finish Huang Jun right now. Agreed, Bai Rong nodded, pushing his questions aside. Was that the wind? No. Someone else was here. Huang Jun barely spun around in time to block two ferocious attacks from both sides with his staff. You're not dead, Bai Rong? That brat saved you. Zhao Cheng threw a powerful punch, forcing Huang Jun back. Seizing the opportunity, Bai Rong lunged forward, his blades landing in a flurry of slashes, leaving deep wounds all over Huang Jun's body. You dare to wound me? I'll take both of your lives. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Zhang Dahua was carrying a struggling Liu Zie to safety. Put me down. I have to help Cheng. Young master, are you crazy? Our leader can barely protect himself. You'll just get yourself killed. But Liu Zie didn't listen and bit down hard on Zhang Dahua's ear. Ow. Young master, I was wrong. I was wrong. Outside the city gates of District 119, the battle was reaching its brutal peak. They've even got firearms from the ancient era. Brothers, hold the line. As soon as Manager Jiang arrives, we'll win. Tian Huagang, the level 27 manager from District 173, was leading the attack. Smash through that wall and get me inside. Once you're in, do whatever you want. On a high-rise, Guan Shui anxiously asked her butler, Aren't you going to step in? Zhao Cheng passed the test. They're considered company assets now. Aren't you supposed to protect them? Young miss, please wait a little longer, the butler replied calmly. Wait? District 119 is about to be flattened by invaders. Young miss, do you know the true purpose of this test? To recruit talent for the company, isn't it? The butler shook his head. It's to weaken the residential districts, to drain the strength of their awakeners. For the stability of the continent, the more powerful people there are, the bigger the problems become. The company knew about the internal conflicts in District 119, so they deliberately set the test here. What? How could they? Guan Shui was absolutely stunned. The company is already more than powerful enough, my lady. We could give every citizen a life of luxury if we wanted to. But if we did that, why would they need the company? Would joining still be considered the highest honor? Letting them struggle, letting them slaughter each other, that is the best way to maintain order. But at this rate, even if Zhao Cheng wins, every innocent in District 119 will die. Was she really supposed to just stand by and watch it all happen? You could use your authority as the Guan family's direct heir to give me an order, but doing so would violate the accords set by the 5 great families. Do you still wish to proceed? Guan Shui froze. She knew the price all too well, violating the 9th article, interfering with the lives and deaths of commoners outside her own territory. Her family would have a massive amount of resources confiscated, and she herself would face 30 days in confinement. That confinement would allow the younger generation from the other families to leave her in the dust. The butler reminded her, "My lady, you must understand which matters take priority." Guan Shui clenched her fists, caught in a fierce internal battle. On one side, thousands of lives. On the other, her own future and status. Just then, the sounds of screams and shattering objects reached Guan Shui's ears. A subordinate rushed in to report, "My lady, the main gate of District 119 has been breached." At the main gate, Tian Huagang, the leader of District 173, let out a savage laugh as he charged forward. Loot the resources, steal the item vouchers, take the food, and play with the women. I want every last woman in District 119. His men poured in like a pack of wild animals, spreading terror. The weak citizens scattered in fear. "The main gate is broken. Run!" These brutal thugs stormed inside. Tian Huagang quickly grabbed a woman who was trying to escape. "Where do you think you're going, beauty? Let old Master Tian here show you some love. Hand over your item vouchers or I'll cut you down. Don't try to hide anything. Smash all their houses to pieces for me." Witnessing this hellish scene, Guan Shui's eyes turned ice cold. She made a decision, one she knew would deeply disappoint her strict father. "I, Guan Shui, as the direct heir of the Guan family, order you to drive out every last invader from District 173. Even if I violate the accord, I will not regret this." A shadowy figure silently acknowledged her command, then vanished into thin air. "Father will surely be disappointed," she thought. "He'll think I'm too emotional, but one day he'll understand. But for now, I have to help Zhao Cheng." And with that, she leaped from her high perch. "My lady, you still intend to help that Zhao boy? Such a merciful and soft-hearted person. If she becomes the head of the family, will the Guan clan fall to ruin in her hands? But no matter what, I am a loyal soldier of the Guan family. The master's order is my mission." He raised his hand. A massive tornado suddenly appeared in the middle of the District 173 mob, sucking them into the air and tearing them to shreds. "What is this thing?" A cold voice boomed. "Anyone who angers the young miss will be shown no mercy." Meanwhile, on another battlefield, Huang Jun was effortlessly dominating Bai Rong and Zhao Cheng. A useless level 7 and a level 10. "Don't think for a second you're my opponents. I'm going to kill all of you right here." This was not looking good. Bai Rong thought to himself that neither his nor Zhao Cheng's attacks could break through that Earth-style defense. If this kept up, they were finished. But Huang Jun had also taken quite a bit of damage. He was panting heavily. Maintaining his peak combat state was draining his stamina fast. Zhao Cheng, Bai Rong gritted his teeth. "This has nothing to do with you. Don't die here." He activated his attribute, and his sword-swinging speed exploded. Bronze rank sword mastery. Sword speed and damage increased by 15%. But Huang Jun just sneered. "Bai Rong, about to die and you're still worried about others," he scoffed. "Your initial attribute is only bronze rank. If it were any higher, you might have actually given me some trouble. Activate extreme speed, gold rank. Speed increased by 30%. I've activated my skill, you can't keep up with me now. This is the difference in our levels." Huang Jun's speed skyrocketed. His sword strikes were so fast that Bai Rong couldn't block them all. Fresh wounds began appearing all over his body. His level was just too low. There was no chance of winning if he kept fighting. But now his opponent was in a reckless, all-out state. Maybe he could use the opening Bai Rong was creating. What could he do to win this? Zhao Cheng scanned the fight, his eyes suddenly locking onto a nearby pile of rubble. At that exact moment, Zhang Dahua arrived carrying a dying Lu Zie on his back. "Big bro, he made me bring him here. I had no choice." Wasting no words, Liu Ziye used the last of his strength to activate his weakness-seeing eyes, and screamed out, "Cheng, hit that Huang guy on his left side." Hearing this, Zhang Dehua was floored. He truly admired the trust between them. With just a single word, his big bro charged forward without a shred of hesitation. "Of course," Liu Ziye whispered, and then passed out, so tired. Forcing his ability had completely drained every ounce of his strength. To the left side, using all his attributes. With a single decisive slash, Zhao Cheng poured everything he had into the attack. Activate Headshot Strike, activate Flamebind, activate Stat Reset. He activates his ultimate tech overdrive and shatters his limits. All three of his attributes are boosted by a staggering 600%. A blast of energy erupts from his body as he rockets forward like lightning. Huang Jun is still laser-focused on Bai Vin. "You're all out of steam, now die." He unleashes a final blow, but Zhao Cheng moves even faster. A flash of his sword slices into Huang Jun's left side, the exact weak spot Liu Ziye had pointed out. And just like that, it's over. "Me? I lost to someone like you?" Huang Jun can't believe it. Zhao Cheng's blade carves a final arc, slicing him clean in two. But after that devastating attack, Zhao Cheng is completely spent. He staggers for a moment before collapsing. Luckily, Bai Vin is there to catch him. At that exact moment, Guan Shui arrives, just in time to witness the spectacular finish. Zhao Cheng. He actually managed to defeat a level 20 awakened. She remembers he was only level 7 before. What kind of prodigy is this guy? The examination officer can't help but wonder. Bai Vin spots her and quickly says, "No need for formalities." Guan Shui steps forward. He is the one who passed this assessment. This examiner has an incredible reputation. She's not one to show favoritism to some newcomer. After all, she's seen her fair share of amazing rookies. But contrary to Bai Vin's expectations, Guan Shui speaks up. "Give him to me. Manager Jiang's battle is nearly finished. Go see if you can lend him a hand." Bai Vin hesitates for a second, then nods and leaves. Guan Shui gently supports the unconscious Zhao Cheng, her gaze a mix of worry and joy. She softly brushes the sweat and blood-matted hair from his forehead. "We meet again, Cheng Zi." Bai Vin freezes in place, his eyes wide in absolute disbelief at the scene before him. What in the world is the relationship between this examiner and Zhao Cheng? He has never seen an officer treat a rookie this way. His shock hits its peak when Guan Shui, a person of such noble status, actually bends down and gently lifts the unconscious Zhao Cheng onto her back. A piggyback? Is he really seeing this? What kind of background does Zhao Cheng even have? Some big shot's boy toy? But what VIP would personally carry their own gigolo? Bai Vin feels his entire perception of reality shattering. "Manager Jiang, you were so wrong about this kid." High above, the other battle has finally reached its end. "Hey Li," Jiang Wei hovers in midair, his voice like ice. "Finally, no one else is in my way. Now, I'm going to take your head." "Jiang Wei, don't think you've won." Hey Li roars back, but the exhaustion in his voice tells the real story. Jiang Wei doesn't waste words. The green nether flame from his hand morphs into a massive fire dragon, roaring as it plummets down. "Too much talk. Just die." The hellfire envelops Hey Li, incinerating everything in its path. Amidst the horrifying screams, the last traitor is reduced to a charred skeleton. The battle is over. Bai Vin quickly rushes toward him. "Manager Jiang, it was Zhao Cheng who helped you take down Huang Jun." "Let's move," Jiang Wei replies. "The main gate is waiting." "No need, sir. Someone already handled all the intruders from Sector 173. That's not what I need to talk about. It's about Zhao Cheng." "Zhao Cheng?" Jiang Wei frowns. "What about him?" A moment later, after Bai Vin recounts the entire story, Jiang Wei's calm and collected expression finally cracks. "Is what you're saying true? The examiner carried him on her own back? 100% certain?" Bai Vin confirms it. "Not only can Zhao Cheng help you kill someone like Huang Jun, he has an incredibly close relationship with the examiner. No big shot would ever care that much about a pretty face. Zhao Cheng's identity must be far beyond anything we could guess. Could he be the illegitimate son of some powerful figure?" Bai Vin asks, making a bold guess. "It's possible," Jiang Wei mutters, a complex light flashing in his eyes. "If that's true, he could rise to a position far beyond mine and accomplish things that I never could. The only condition is that I plant a seed of loyalty in his heart now." In a clean, warm room, Zhao Cheng suddenly wakes, snapping into a defensive stance. "Where is this?" "Oh, Chengzi, you're awake?" It's the familiar voice of Yezi. "Want some? It's a taste of home. Made from the mutated cassava in Sector 226. Yezi, where are we?" "Still in Sector 119. This is one of the examiner's temporary safe rooms," Yezi says while chewing. "You've been asleep for 3 days. 3 days? He wonders if this is a side effect from forcing the fusion power. Hey Chengzi, you sure you don't want a piece? They even put brown sugar in it, real brown sugar. Suddenly, the door clicks open, and a familiar figure walks in. You're awake? Hearing that voice, he looks up, hardly able to believe his own eyes. And that's where the video ends for today. If you liked it, don't forget to hit like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.